Welcome in on this Saturday morning, everyone. Jess Ray alongside Robbie Gibson from Waukene and Trigo High School, the host site for the Mid-Continent League Basketball Tournament. We're going to have coverage for you all day long from this tournament, as we'll have the 7th place girls, 7th place boys, 3rd place girls, 3rd place boys, championship girls, and championship boys coverage right here on 92.5 KQMA and online at kknkqma.com. Our first featured matchup of the day, the Smith Center Lady Red taking on the Oakley Lady Plainsmen in the 7th place girls game. These two teams met up not that long ago, Robbie. A low-scoring affair. Points were at a premium, 19-15 your final. The Lady Plainsmen able to get the win at home over the Lady Red. I'm sure both these coaches like to see a little bit more scoring this morning.
I'm sure they would as well, but in that game, the shots were there, they just were not falling. Neither team could get anything to fall for them, so I'm sure they're going to get those shots again tonight, early this morning, and hopefully they can start falling for them to make it a little bit more exciting. As like you said, it was a low-scoring game. It was a good game, but it was just really low-scoring.
As we take a look at our starting lineups for this ball game, it is going to be for the Lady Plainsmen, number 12, a 5'10 senior, Shanley Selzer. Number 14, a 5'10 senior, Taylor Van Eaton. Number 20, a 5'4 junior, Elise Corbett. Number 22, a 5'9 senior, Jenna Zimmerman. And it's also going to be number 35, a 5'7 senior, Micah Kuhlman. For the Lady Red on this Saturday morning, it's going to be number 12, a 5'9 freshman, Bree Freeling. Number 14, a 5'6 junior, Natasha Colby. Number 20, a 5'8 sophomore, Grayson Hutchinson. Number 23, a 5'9 junior, Casey Timmons. And number 31, a 5'6 freshman, Kendra Maydew. So again, for the Lady Plainsmen on this Saturday morning, Selzer, Van Eaton, Corbett, Zimmerman, and Kuhlman. For the Lady Red, it is Freeling, Colby, Hutchinson, along with Casey Timmons and Kendra Maydew. The Lady Red in their home white jerseys with the red numbers and the green trim. The Lady Plainsmen in those road purple jerseys with the white numbers and the gold trim. The Lady Red will go left to right on your radio dial to start this ball game. The Lady Plainsmen, of course, then right to left. It is going to be Freeling and Zimmerman in the center circle. Jenna Zimmerman, the leader for this Lady Plainsmen team, as she is their leading scorer and was so the last time these two teams played. As ball goes out of bounds off of the tip, and looks like it's going to be Lady Plainsmen basketball. So the Lady Plainsmen will have it. Taylor Van Eaton to inbound, does so to Elise Corbett. She brings it across the timeline. So we get this 7th place girls game started here in the Mid-Continent League Basketball Tournament. They pass it to Zimmerman. She swings around to Corbett, left wing. Corbett, top of the key. Bounce pass into the right corner to Zimmerman. Out of her reach, out of bounds. Lady Red basketball. 7:47 left to play in the first quarter. 0-0 is our score as Bree Freeling passes it to Maydew. Now to Colby. Colby back to Freeling. Freeling back to Maydew. Ahead to Colby, left wing. They look inside for Timmons. Get it to her left block. Up and no good. Rebounded by Taylor Van Eaton. Shanley Selzer for the Lady Plainsmen. Corbett brings it up the court to Van Eaton in the left wing. Out front to Zimmerman. And she's going to get called for the travel. So the Lady Plainsmen with their second consecutive turnover, and it will be Lady Red basketball. 7:25 left to play in the first quarter. A little pressure here by the Lady Plainsmen as Freeling has it, looks ahead, brings it across the timeline with 7:15 left to play in the first quarter. Again, 0-0 is our score here in the 7th place girls game in the Mid-Continent League Basketball Tournament. Smith Center Lady Red with the basketball. They swing it around to Casey Timmons, top of the key. Timmons down to Colby on the right baseline. Inside for Freeling. She's at the right block. Puts a shot up over Kuhlman. No good. Fighting for the rebound. Timmons comes down with it. Her putback blocked by Van Eaton in the hands of Natasha Colby. Colby has it. Loses the handle on it. Ball still on the court. And jump ball called. It will remain Lady Red basketball.
Good hustle there by both teams, getting on the floor and kind of fighting for that ball as it rolled between a couple different people's legs, and finally was able to just get tied up there by a couple different, Lady Plainsmen and Lady Red.
Casey Timmons has it. Left baseline shot, no good. Fighting for the rebound again. Bodies hit the floor. Jump ball called. Lady Plainsmen basketball as that was Maydew and Selzer fighting for the basketball that time for the Lady Red and the Lady Plainsmen. 6:40 left to play in the first quarter. 0-0 is our score here in the 7th place girls game of the Mid-Continent League Basketball Tournament here from Waukene and Trigo High School. Oakley Lady Plainsmen basketball Corbett to Zimmerman in the right corner. Now to Van Eaton. She's at the right wing. Out front to Coleman. They swing it around to Corbett, left wing. To Zimmerman on the left baseline, working against Timmons. Now to Van Eaton. Thought about the three, didn't take it. Coleman will right wing. Good. So Micah Coleman gets things started here for the Lady Plainsmen as they now lead 3-0 over the Smith Center Lady Red. 6:05 left to play in the first quarter. Hutchinson with it, and she's going to get called for the travel. So the ball goes back to the Oakley Lady Plainsmen. 6:05 left to play in the first quarter, and the Oakley Lady Plainsmen lead the Smith Center Lady Red 3-0. Coleman has it, trying to break this Lady Red press. Stolen away by Colby. Colby to Freeling. Freeling right block off the glass and good. Bree Freeling gets the Lady Red on the board, and it makes it a 1-point ball game. 3-2. The Oakley Lady Plainsmen lead the Smith Center Lady Red. 5:48 left to play in the first quarter. Lady Plainsmen break the Lady Red press to Coleman, left wing. She drives into the paint, picks up her dribble, and she gets called for the travel. So the ball goes back in the hands of the Smith Center Lady Red with 5:40 left to play in the first quarter.
Lady Plainsmen here on their turnovers. Look like there might just be a little morning jitters. They're trying to get everything woke up and get going, as they've had decent looks, just kind of dragging their feet a little bit here.
The Lady Red have it. They look for Hutchinson, and she's going to be the last one that touches. This ball goes out of bounds. Ball goes back to the Lady Plainsmen. 3-2 is our score. The Oakley Lady Plainsmen lead the Smith Center Lady Red. Ball tipped out of bounds. It will remain Lady Plainsmen basketball. Just under 5.5 minutes left to play in the first quarter. This is the 7th place girls game of the Mid-Continent League basketball tournament. Selzer gets it. Waits for Corbett to come across the timeline. Does so to Van Eaton. Now to Zimmerman, left corner. Zimmerman looks inside. Back out to Coleman, top of the key. She dribbles out, kicks it to Corbett, right wing. Corbett, right elbow shot, no good. Left and short, rebounded by Coleman. She kicks it out to Zimmerman. Zimmerman stops, pops in the paint. Good.
Nice little friendly bounce there. Bounced on the front of the rim, hit the back of the rim. Finally fell through for him. Good little drive into the paint.
That puts the Oakley Lady Plainsmen back up by 3. 5-2 is our score. As Freeling has it at the right block, splits the defense off the glass and good. Bree Freeling has all 4 points here for the Smith Center Lady Red, as it makes it a 1-point game once again. Foul called. See who this one's on. It looks like it may be on the Lady Red. It is on Kendra Maydew. Her first personal foul, first Lady Red team foul.
As I thought that was going to be on Colby, as Colby came in from the far side to tip down away. But Kendra Maydew sitting right there, and I'm guessing just got her kind of with a body on that one.
Katie Hefner comes in the game. Shanley Selzer takes a seat for the Lady Plainsmen. Lady Plainsmen break the press. Jenna Zimmerman, right block off the glass, good, and she's going to the line for an and one as she was fouled. So Zimmerman going to go to the free throw line. Casey Timmons picks up her first personal, second Lady Red team foul.
The Lady Plainsmen doing a great job of breaking this press, not really putting the ball on the floor, just passing it, and finally able to get one on the run and get down the court and get a layup off of it.
Jenna Zimmerman now with 5 points for the Oakley Lady Plainsmen as they extend their lead to 4 over the Smith Center Lady Red. 8-4 is the score, just under 4.5 minutes left to play in the first quarter. Maydew gets the pass, puts the shot up, no good. Rebounded by Jenna Zimmerman for the Lady Plainsmen. She outlets ahead to Elise Corbett. Corbett going to bring it up the court. Now she's trapped in the corner by Freeling, and Hutchison gets the pass off. Coolman has it. Now out to Corbett. She steps into the left wing three. No good. Rebound fought for Kendra Maydew comes away with it for the Smith Center Lady Red. 4 minutes left to play in the first quarter as Bree Freeling brings it across the timeline, left to right on your radio dial for the Lady Red, and she's going to get called for the double dribble.
Freeling just kind of gave it a little stutter there as she was about to pass it off. I believe she was going to look to Maydew to get it there on the wing, but Maydew went to the cut, so Freeling tried to put it back down on the floor.
As Lauren Ballman comes into the game now for the Lady Plainsmen, stolen away by Colby. Colby looks underneath for Freeling. Ball gets tipped around, and it's going to be off of Bree Freeling. So Lady Plainsmen basketball, 3:49 left to play in the first quarter. 8-4 is our score. The Oakley Lady Plainsmen lead the Smith Center Lady Red here in this first quarter. Well, Robbie, we've already doubled the score of the first quarter last time these two teams played. This last time, the first quarter, 4-2. The Lady Plainsmen had that 4-2 lead in Oakley a couple weeks ago. We are setting at 8-4. The Lady Plainsmen leading the Smith Center Lady Red with 3.5 minutes left to play. Hefner right wing for three, no good. Rebound tracked down by Kendra Maydew for the Smith Center Lady Red. She'll pass it off to Natasha Colby. Colby brings it up across the timeline to Bree Freeling. She's between the circles to Maydew, right wing. Out front now to Freeling. They swing it around to Colby, left wing. Back out front to Freeling. She looks inside. Now back to Colby, left wing. They look inside for Casey Timmons. Can't get it to her. Back to Freeling, top of the key. Ball tipped out there by Ballman, and it will remain Lady Red basketball. 3:12 left to play in the first quarter. And the Oakley Lady Plainsmen leading the Smith Center Lady Red 8-4.
Good job there by Ballman, paying attention to what's going on and just stepping in front and tipping that pass out of there.
Lady Red basketball as Maydew has it at the right wing. Out front to Casey Timmons. Timmons looks inside. Now to Colby, left wing. Colby tries to pass it to Maydew. Stolen away by Jenna Zimmerman for the Oakley Lady Plainsmen. She lets everybody catch up with her. Going to set up the offense to Taylor Van Eaton, left wing. Van Eaton out front to Hefner. Hefner looks to pass it off. Tried to pass it to Van Eaton, but Van Eaton started to cut in. Out of bounds, Lady Red basketball. 2:44 left to go in the first quarter, and the Oakley Lady Plainsmen lead the Smith Center Lady Red 5-4. 8-4 is our score. Natasha Colby to inbound. Does so to Bree Freeling. Freeling brings it left to right on your radio dial for the Smith Center Lady Red to Natasha Colby at the right wing. She tries to pass it back out to Freeling. Freeling tracks down the loose ball. Looking, goes a backside to Maydew. Maydew left block, and she's going to the free throw line. This will be the first team foul on the Oakley Lady Plainsmen. And the foul is on Katie Hefner, her first personal foul. So Kendra Maydew at the free throw line, the 5'6" freshman, a 39% free throw shooter. As her first one is good. So she gets her first point of the ball game. As Taylor Van Eaton takes a seat, and Caitlin Williams comes into the game for the Lady Plainsmen. 2:32 left to go in the first quarter. The Oakley Lady Plainsmen lead the Smith Center Lady Red 8-5. Kendra Maydew at the line for the Lady Red. Her second free throw. This one no good. Rebounded by Hefner. Lady Plainsmen bring it up the court. They pass it to Williams in the right corner. Now to Zimmerman. Skip past to Hefner. Hefner on the dribble. Out front. Picks up her dribble between the circles. Right side to Kuhlman. Now to Ballman. Top of the key. She picks up her dribble to Williams. Williams looks to pass it off. Does so to Hefner, left wing. Out front to Jenna Zimmerman. She's on the dribble. Picks it up now to Kuhlman. Left wing for three. No good. Rebound tracked down by Katie Hefner. She passes it out front to Ballman. Ballman, top of the key. Back to Hefner, right wing. They look inside for Zimmerman. Zimmerman turns around. Shot in the paint. Good.
Good look to catch Zimmerman cutting from the bottom baseline to up to the top of the key. Just good entry pass off of a bounce and got a good shot off of it.
Jenna Zimmerman now with 7 of the 10 for the Lady Plainsmen as Bree Freeling got trapped there by a couple of the Lady Plainsmen. Ball gets tipped out. Jump ball called Lady Red basketball. Jordan Shoemaker into the game now for the Smith Center Lady Red. Bree Freeling going to take a seat. Minute 42 left to play in the first quarter. The Oakley Lady Plainsmen lead the Smith Center Lady Red 10-5. We have a foul called here on the Lady Plainsmen. This will be their second team foul. Foul's going to be on Caitlin Williams. Her first personal foul. Holly Timmons will come into the game. And Kendra Maydew going to take a seat for the Smith Center Lady Red. A minute 37 left to play in the first quarter. The Oakley Lady Plainsmen lead the Smith Center Lady Red 10-5. Natasha Colby has it. Casey Timmons, free throw line jumper, no good off the back of the iron. Rebounded by Shoemaker, ball on the court. Timmons comes away with it. As Casey now to Holly underneath for Hutchinson. Right block, no good. Fighting for the rebound. Casey Timmons comes away with it to Colby in the paint, no good. And it's still fighting for the basketball. Jump ball called. Lady Plainsman basketball as Casey Timmons fighting with Caitlin Williams of the Lady Plainsmen for that basketball when the jump ball was called.
Good job there by Timmons. Both of them in there kind of tipping the ball around, getting some offensive rebounds for the Lady Red, getting those second chance opportunities that are crucial in a game like this.
Lizzie Fortmiller in the game now for the Smith Center Lady Red with a minute 10 left to play in the first half. Jenna Zimmerman has it for the Lady Plainsmen. She drives all the way down to the left baseline. Picks up her dribble, trapped by Colby and Casey Timmons. Inside for Caitlin Williams, off the glass, no good. Rebound fought for. Casey Timmons comes away with it. Hands it off to Natasha Colby. She'll bring it up with 56 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Colby has it right wing, now to Shoemaker, around to Holly Timmons, left wing. Back out front to Shoemaker, to Colby in the right corner. Inside for Lizzie Fortmiller, right block off the glass, no good. And the ball is going to go out of bounds off of the Lady Plainsmen. So Lady Red basketball as Selzer and Corbett both come into the game for the Lady Plainsmen. Zimmerman and Kuhlman take a seat. Fortmiller going to take a seat, and Michaela Dietz comes in for the Lady Red. 43 seconds left to go in the first quarter. The Oakley Lady Plainsmen lead the Smith Center Lady Red 10-5. Dietz gets the inbounds pass now to Casey Timmons, right side. Drives into the paint, and she's going to the free throw line. This will be the third team foul on the Oakley Lady Plainsmen.
Nice pump fake there by Casey Timmons. Gave a little pump fake towards the baseline, got her defender to go that way. Just wrapped up and around from the top of the key down and able to get a nice layup underneath, but got fouled, so she's going to make the shot.
Casey Timmons hits her first free throw, her first point of this ball game, and it makes it a 4-point game. The Oakley Lady Plainsmen lead the Smith Center Lady Red 10-6 here in this 7th place girls game of the Mid-Continent League basketball tournament as Timmons misses the second one. Rebounded by the Oakley Lady Plainsmen. Elise Corbett brings it right to left on your radio dial for the Lady Plainsmen. Out front to Selzer, now to Ballman. They swing it around to Corbett in the left corner. She drives inside for Williams. Williams now to Selzer, back out Corbett, left wing. She's on the dribble, stops, pops, and good.
Tough shot there as Jordan Shoemaker in defense right on her, but able to just shoot over top of her.
That makes it a 6-point ball game. The Oakley Lady Plainsmen lead the Smith Center Lady Red. Ball gets tipped around. Casey Timmons comes up with it in the paint. No good. Rebounded by Natasha Colby, and she's going to the free throw line. This will be the 4th team foul on the Lady Plainsmen.
Good job there by Timmons as that ball was kind of tipped around, but came right through her hands as she wasn't quite ready for it. Went through her hands, landed into Lady Plainsman hands. She just kind of tipped it out to get the ball going around everywhere and then able to come up with and get the shot.
Caitlin Williams picks up her first personal foul as Natasha Colby misses the first free throw. So that's the 2nd foul on Caitlin Williams. Again, the 4th foul on the Lady Plainsmen. As Colby misses both of them, rebounded by the Lady Plainsmen. And that's going to do it for the first quarter with the Oakley Lady Plainsmen leading the Smith Center Lady Red 12-6. We'll take a timeout here, come back, bring you second quarter action right after this as you're listening to MCL tournament coverage here on 92.5 and the World Wide Web. Welcome back to Joaquini and Trico High School. Jess Ray alongside Robbie Gibson as we get set for the second quarter of the 7th place girls game of the Mid-Continent League basketball tournament. The Oakley Lady Plainsmen lead the Smith Center Lady Red 12-6. Kendra Maydew, Bree Freeling, Grayson Hutchinson, along with Casey Timmons and Michaela Dietz for the Lady Red to start this second quarter. Hutchinson drives in, shot off the glass, no good. Rebounded by Freeling, ball gets tipped out, stolen away, and by the Lady Plainsmen as it's Hefner. Now to Van Eaton, ahead to Zimmerman. Zimmerman down to the left wing. Back out to Van Eaton. They swing it around to Corbett between the circles to Hefner, right wing. She looks inside for Selzer. Couldn't get it to her. Now Hefner on the dribble. Picks it up to Selzer, right elbow. They swing it around to Corbett. Now to Van Eaton, left wing. Pump fakes, drives in, kicks out to Zimmerman, top of the key. Now to Hefner, right wing. Out front to Van Eaton. Round to Corbett, inside for Selzer, right block off the glass, no good. Ball goes out of bounds off the Lady Plainsmen. Lady Red basketball, 7:20 left to go in the first half. And the Oakley Lady Plainsmen lead the Smith Center Lady Red 12-6. Ball stolen away by the Lady Plainsmen on the inbound as they had a full court pressure put on. It'll be Hefner, right corner for three, buries it.
Nice shot there. Got the ball, just quickly went up with it as she had a little bit of time to get that shot off.
Dietz has it for the Lady Red, left side, out front to Grayson Hutchinson, so she'll hand it off to Bree Freeling. Freeling back to Hutchinson, right wing. Back to Freeling between the circles, around to Maydew, left wing. Maydew drives in, picks up her dribble, looks to pass off, and she's going to get called for the foul. Kendra Maydew picks up her second personal, third Lady Red team foul.
As I believe they're getting Maydew with a charge, but it's really just going to be a push-off foul as she got kind of trapped up there. Just gave him a little push with her arm, trying to create a little bit of space.
Jordan Shoemaker and Holly Timmons back into the game for the Lady Red. 6:44 left to go in the first half. The Oakley Lady Plainsmen lead the Smith Center Lady Red 15-6. Full court pressure by the Lady Red. Hefner gets it across the timeline now to Corbett. Corbett, right side, between the circles to Van Eaton, now to Hefner, left wing. Back to Van Eaton between the circles, around to Corbett, right side. Skip past to Hefner, left wing, out front to Jenna Zimmerman. Back to Corbett, right side. She's on the dribble. Down to the baseline, all the way underneath the basket. Leaves it off for Van Eaton, left elbow. She's on the dribble, now to Zimmerman. Zimmerman, right elbow, shot is good.
Zimmerman well covered on that one. The Lady Red running a 2-3 like rotating zone. When the ball gets passed to a corner, they rotate around just to cover up every spot that they can.
Hefner comes away with the steal. As the Lady Red, we're looking down the court, but Hefner steps into the path of the ball, comes up with the steal, and the Lady Plainsmen now have the basketball up by 11, 17-6 as Hefner right wing for three this time, left it short, fighting for the rebound. Hutchinson comes away with it. She pushes it up the right side of the court, down to the right wing, picks up her dribble there to Shoemaker. She'll put up the three, no good, rattles out, rebounded by Katie Hefner for the Oakley Lady Plainsmen. 5:35 left to go in the first half. The Oakley Lady Plainsmen lead the Smith Center Lady Red 17-6. Hefner with it right wing. She looks in, now to Van Eaton between the circles. Bounce pass inside for Zimmerman at the free throw line. Van Eaton top of the key for three. Rattles out, no good. And going to have a foul call. This one's going to be on Shanley Selzer. Her first personal foul, fifth Lady Plainsman team foul.
Van Eaton left open there for a second at the three-point line. Shoemaker rotating back up there, trying to get there to get a hand in Van Eaton's face. Just didn't quite get there in time before the shot to go off.
Coleman comes into the game. Katie Hefner going to take a seat for the Lady Plainsmen for the Lady Red. Bree Freeling comes back in and Casey Timmons takes a seat. Freeling has it. Now to Holly Timmons, top of the key for the Smith Center Lady Red with 5:08 left to play in the first half. The Oakley Lady Plainsmen lead the Smith Center Lady Red by 11, 17-6 for the seventh place girls game of the MCL tournament. Hutchinson has it top of the key now, inside for Dietz. Dietz left baseline over Selzer, no good, rebounded by Jenna Zimmerman. Zimmerman has it for the Lady Plainsmen, now to Elise Corbett. She'll bring it right to left on your radio dial with 4:45 left to go in the first half, and the Lady Plainsmen with that 11-point lead, 17-6 over the Smith Center Lady Red. Elise Corbett has it left side, now out front to Taylor Van Eaton, back to Zimmerman. Zimmerman drives in, quickly gets closed out on, and Kuhlman puts up the left corner three, no good, gets her own rebound out to Zimmerman. Corbett going to reset the offense as she's between the circles. Now to Zimmerman, right side. Zimmerman looks in, working against Freeling, drives in, picks up her dribble, puts the shot up, no good. Rebounded by Grayson Hutchinson for the Smith Center Lady Red. And going to have a timeout called here by Coach Lynn. We'll take a timeout with them. 4:12 left to play in the first half. The Oakley Lady Plainsmen lead the Smith Center Lady Red 17-6. You're listening to MCL tournament coverage here on KQMA and the World Wide Web. Welcome back to Waukegan and Trigo High School. Jesse Ray alongside Robbie Gibson as the Smith Center Lady Red playing the Oakley Lady Plainsmen, the seventh place girls game of the MCL tournament as Freeling looked inside for Shoemaker, stolen away by Zimmerman. Zimmerman has it for the Lady Plainsmen in the right corner, out front to Corbett. Corbett drives in, puts a shot up in the paint, partially blocked by Dietz. Dietz comes away with the basketball, now to Shoemaker, head to Freeling. Freeling right block up, almost count it as that one just rolls off the front of the iron, but Bree Freeling will head to the free throw line.
Good job there by the Lady Red. Dietz got it, gave an outlet pass up to Shoemaker. Shoemaker right over to Freeling. Your typical just give fast break offense right there. Worked pretty well for him. If Freeling could have made that layup, and it almost rolled in for her. Otherwise, that was a good play.
Freeling has 5 points now. She hits the first free throw. That makes it a 10-point game. The Oakley Lady Plainsmen lead the Smith Center Lady Red 17-7. It's Freeling getting set for the second one. This one is no good. Rebounded by Selzer for the Lady Plainsmen. She'll hand it off to Elise Corbett. Corbett gonna jog it across the timeline with 3:40 left to go in the first half. Coleman has it left corner for the Lady Plainsmen out front. Now to Zimmerman. Zimmerman looking to pass off. Gonna drive into the free throw line, and she's gonna be fouled. This is the fourth team foul on the Lady Red. Fouls on Jordan Shoemaker. It's Jordan's first personal foul. Selzer takes a seat for the Lady Plainsman, Katie Hefner, back into the game. Taylor Van Eaton looks to inbound, does so to Zimmerman in the paint, and count it. She's going line for an and one.
Tough shot there. Got hit up in the midair and almost went back a couple inches there. So tough shot, able to fight through it and get it to fall in for her.
Holly Timmons picks up her first personal foul, 5th Lady Red team foul. Kendra Maydew comes back in. Holly Timmons going to take a seat. That shot is up for Zimmerman, and she hits the and one attempt. She now has 12. And the Oakley Lady Plainsmen lead the Smith Center Lady Red 20-7. They get the ball underneath for Freeling, and she's going back to the free throw line. Nice look at that time by Kendra Maydew.
Really was a good look there by Maydew to catch Freeling underneath as Maydew took off down court, had two defenders right in front of her, and just gave a bounce pass right in between them to Freeling. Freeling, as she was going up for layup, the two defenders turned around and got her on the back.
Zimmerman picks up her first personal foul as Freeling hits the first free throw. She now has 6 of the 8 points for the Smith Center Lady Red as they trail the Oakley Lady Plainsmen 20-8 here in the 7th place game for this Mid-Continent League basketball tournament as Freeling misses the second one, and ball is going to be rebounded by Taylor Van Eaton for the Lady Plainsmen. Corbett brings it up, working against Freeling. Across the timeline with 3:12 left to go in the first half. Van Eaton to Zimmerman, left wing. Out front to Hefner. Hefner top the key around to the right wing. Kuhlman now to the right corner to Corbett. Corbett drives baseline, picks up her dribble to Kuhlman. Kuhlman, right corner for 3, no good. Rebounded by Jordan Shoemaker. Shoemaker to Freeling. Freeling brings it up ahead to Shoemaker between the circles. She's going to call out the offense with 2:50 left to go in the first half. Maydew with it, left wing, back to Shoemaker, out front, Shoemaker, one dribble, now to Freeling, right side. Freeling back to Shoemaker, inside for Hutchinson, backside pass to Freeling, off the glass, no good. Fighting for the rebound, Jenna Zimmerman comes away with it. She's on the fast break, right block, no good. Rebounded by Grayson Hutchinson. Hutchinson now has it, and ball is on the court, picked up by Michaela Dietz. Dietz to Hutchinson. Hutchinson kicks out to Shoemaker, her shot no good. Rebounded by Hutchinson, put back good. Hutchinson gets her first points of this ball game and makes it a 10-point Lady Plainsman lead as Hefner's going to get called for the foul with 2:08 left to go in this first half. Natasha Colby comes in. Jordan Shoemaker going to take a seat.
Nice hustle on those last points there for the Lady Red. Able just to kind of pick it up off the floor, gets a couple quick passes, get a rebound, and get the shot back up there for that second rebound of 2 points.
Freeling has it out front. Now to Colby, left wing. Colby looks inside. They get it to Hutchinson, left elbow to Freeling. Hutchinson, free throw line jumper, good.
Nice job there by the Lady Red, passing the ball around. Finally able to catch Hutchinson at the free throw line.
20-12 is our score. The Oakley Lady Plainsmen lead the Smith Center Lady Red. 1:40 left to go in the first half. Corbett to Kuhlman. Kuhlman drives in, kicks it back out to Corbett, left corner. Out front to Hefner. Now to Zimmerman, and she's going to get called for the travel. 1.5 left to play in this first half. The Oakley Lady Plainsmen lead the Smith Center Lady Red 20-12 in the 7th place girls game of the MCL tournament.
Right idea there by the Lady Plainsmen on the last one. Switched places with the ball real quickly. Done a skip pass over top of the Lady Red defense to the backside of him, drove in.
Freeling has it. She drives in, stolen away by Corbett. Corbett leads the break. One-on-one with Dietz. Stops at the right block, up and in. Corbett now has 4 points, and it makes it a 10-point lead. Stolen away by Zimmerman. Zimmerman and Colby going to get called for the foul, and Jenna Zimmerman going to go line and shoot 2. This is Colby's first 6th Lady Red team foul.
Trying to pass it over top of Zimmerman, as Zimmerman just able to go up and grab that one, take off the other way for a layup. Colby just trying to play defense and got in the way of there.
Zimmerman misses the first one. Holly Timmons back into the game. Natasha Colby going to take a seat for the Lady Red. Zimmerman's second one's on its way, and this one no good as well, rebounded by Michaela Dietz. Dietz looks to pass, does so to Freeling. Freeling on the fast break ahead to Maydew, and Maydew going to be fouled. As Jen Zimmerman just picked up her second personal foul, and the 8th Lady Plainsman team foul.
Maydew was looking for the pass to get about free throw line, came in late with that pass, didn't quite catch it, hit her, bounced up, landed on top of her head, able to grab it underneath the basket, went up for the shot, but got fouled. So kind of a good heads-up play there by Maydew.
Maydew misses the first one. For sure, when they go to watch film, Coach Lynn is going to tell them that's where you use a bounce pass.
I would be right there with you. That would have been the best one. Bounce pass it to her, and she would have been able to gather that one up and just go straight up with it.
Maydew hits the second free throw, makes it 22-13 with 45 seconds left to go in the first half. The Oakley Lady Plainsmen leading the Smith Center Lady Red. This is the 7th place girls game of the Mid-Continent League basketball tournament. It's Hefner, or that was Coleman with it. Now to Corbett, back out front to Zimmerman. She's in the center circle. 30 seconds left to play in the first half. The Oakley Lady Plainsmen lead the Smith Center Lady Red 22-13. Zimmerman has it. Center circle, 20 seconds left to go now in the first half. Van Eaton, left side, takes one dribble to Zimmerman. Zimmerman looked to pass it to Corbett. Back to Van Eaton, though, left side. Van Eaton, timeout called by Oakley. With 12 seconds left to go in the first half, we'll take a timeout with them. You're listening to MCL tournament coverage here on KQMA and the World Wide Web. Welcome back to Waukene, the 7th place girls game of this MCL tournament. Oakley Lady Plainsmen have it. Zimmerman drives in right, block, no good. Rebounded by Van Eaton to Hefner, and they're going to say no good even if she would have made it. Buzzer rang. That's going to do it for the first half with the Oakley Lady Plainsmen on top of the Smith Center Lady Red, 22-13. We're going to take a timeout, come back, wrap up the first half for you right after this as you're listening to MCL tournament coverage here on KQMA and the World Wide Web. And welcome back to Waukene and Trigo High School. Jesse Ray alongside Robbie Gibson at halftime of the 7th place girls game. The Oakley Lady Plainsmen lead the Smith Center Lady Red 22-13. The Lady Plainsmen had a 12-6 lead over the Lady Red after the first quarter. The Lady Plainsmen then had 10 points in the second quarter to 7 of the Lady Red to make it 22-13 here at halftime. Looking at the scoring, first for the Lady Plainsmen. 4 points for Elise Corbett, 12 for Jenna Zimmerman, 3 for Micah Coleman, 3 for Katie Hefner. For the Lady Red, it is 6 points for Bree Freeling, 4 for Grayson Hutchinson, 1 for Casey Timmons, 2 for Kendra Maydew. Robbie, how'd stats look?
For the Lady Red, they were 0 for 1 from the three-point line, 4 for 19 from the field, 5 for 12 from the free throw line, 9 defensive, 7 offensive rebounds, and 11 turnovers. For the Lady Plainsmen, they were 1 for 9 from the three-point line, 8 for 23 from the field, 2 for 4 from the free throw line, 10 defensive, 4 offensive rebounds, and 8 turnovers there in that first half.
So, all in all, a pretty good first half here in this first game. It's hard to get the girls to wake up anybody at 9 o'clock in the morning, having to come and play a basketball game, trying to convince them, hey, you do want to win this game, you do want to play in this game, because it's either this or you were in the feather bracket game and done on Thursday. So playing in the 7th place game is better than not playing at all, I guess. But 9 o'clock in the morning is early for any game.
It really is. So I'm sure the coaches had the work cut out for them. That first quarter, I just consider it kind of a wake-up quarter. Get all the juices flowing, get yourself kind of into a rhythm, and then 2nd, 3rd, and 4th is the actual game.
There you go. That's a good way to look at it. Coming out of the halftime, we'll see what both coaches have drawn up here for the second half. As again, at halftime, the Oakley Lady Plainsmen lead the Smith Center Lady Red 22-13 here in the 7th place girls game from Waukene and Trigo High School. We'll be back right after this as we're going to take a look at the brackets after this timeout. You're listening to MCL Tournament coverage here on KQMA and the World Wide Web. Welcome back to Waukene and Trigo High School, the host site for the Mid-Continent League Basketball Tournament this year, as we are in the 7th place girls game as the Oakley Lady Plainsmen lead the Smith Center Lady Red 22-13 here at halftime. Robbie, why don't we go ahead and get your keys to victory here for both teams, if you're ready for that.
Well, I was just writing down the last one, so I don't have to try to remember them here. But we'll go with the Lady Red here to start with. They need to take their time and look inside. They've been able to get some good shots underneath there, but if they can continue to get those shots underneath, sooner or later they're going to fall, which will make the defense kind of crash in on them, and then they're going to be able to come back outside to get some shots from out there as well. And then I think one of the big ones here is they got to get some pressure defense up front. They're in a half-court trap press, but they really haven't been able to do anything with it. They got to get some pressure on the inbounds pass and then push whoever gets that pass to the sideline and keep trying to work them up the sideline to get that press. The Lady Plainsmen doing a good job of breaking that press, but the Lady Red, they had to get some pressure defense to force that turnover. And then for the Lady Plainsmen, I think they got to move in. They're 1 for 9 from the three-point line. Move inside, take some inside shots instead of trying to sit outside and settle for a three-point shot when you can take a couple more passes, maybe find a shot right underneath the basket. And then they got to look to get their post involved. They haven't went inside to the post players very much. It's been a lot of dribble drive and then a shot from inside the paint. If they could get their post players to get going underneath, that'll open up that outside game for them. And they have decent shooters from outside. They're just not able to hit because they do have hands right in their face. So if they can get their post players to going, it'll have to suck the Lady Reds 2-3 zone defense in a little bit and open up that outside shot. And that's really what I have for both teams there.
All right, let's take a quick look at the bracket for today. As again, we are in the 7th place girls game between the Oakley Lady Plainsmen and the Smith Center Lady Red, as the Lady Plainsmen have a 22-13 lead here at halftime. The next game on tap for today, the Smith Center Redmen taking on the Hill City Ringnecks in that 7th place boys game. The 5th place girls game will be the Norton Lady Jays against the Ellis Lady Railers. The 5th place boys game will be Trigo versus Ellis. The 3rd place girls game, we'll have coverage of this one, Hill City versus Plainville. The 3rd place boys game, well, we'll have coverage of this one as well, Plainville versus TMP. The championship girls, TMP versus Stockton, we'll have coverage of that one. And the championship boys, a rematch of 1 week ago. The number 1 team in Class 3A, the Norton Blue Jays, taking on the Phillipsburg Panthers. It was a 6-point game last year when those two teams met. It was about a 10-point victory the first time Norton won, but then it was only a 3-point game the next time. So we'll see how things go, but that's a long ways from now. We're in the first game of the day. That's the last game of the day. So we're getting a little ahead of ourselves, but we're getting set here for the second half, as it will be Lady Plainsmen basketball. Taylor Van Eaton, along with Elise Corbett, Micah Kuhlman, Jenna Zimmerman, and Shanley Selzer for the Lady Plainsmen. For the Lady Red, it is Bree Freeling, Natasha Colby, along with Grayson Hutchinson, Casey Timmons, and Kendra Maydew. Lady Plainsmen basketball. Kuhlman left wing for 3, no good. Rebound tracked down by Selzer. Selzer put back. She's going to the free throw line. The Lady Red pick up their first team foul the second half, and Selzer heads to the free throw line.
Nice job there by Selzer to get that offensive rebound. Had to go up strong for it, as she did have a couple Lady Red right there, but able to come down with it, go right back up, and get fouled as she was shooting.
Selzer misses the first one. She's still looking for her first point of the morning. Selzer's second one, left that one short, and it will be Lady Red basketball with 7:46 left to go in the third quarter. The Oakley Lady Plainsmen with a 22-13 lead over the Smith Center Lady Red. The Lady Red trying to break this Lady Plainsman press. Colby has it. She's on the dribble. Ahead to Hutchinson. Hutchinson back to Colby. Colby dribbles to the right wing. Picks up her dribble there. Looks inside for Freeling. Freeling right block off the glass and good.
Nice skip pass into Freeling. Actually, it was just a lob pass, there. Just a good look to catch. Freeling had backside position, just lobbed it up and over right where she needed it.
That makes it 22-15. The Lady Plainsmen lead the Lady Red. As Zimmerman quick on the trigger, no good. Selzer comes up with it. Her shot blocked by Maydew right into the hands of Casey Timmons, and it will be Lady Red basketball. Tasha Colby brings it up to Bree Freeling. Freeling between the circles. Sets things up with 7:05 left to go in the third quarter. The Oakley Lady Plainsmen lead the Smith Center Lady Red 22-15. Maydew has it now to Hutchinson. Hutchinson around to Colby. Colby to Freeling in the right corner. She looks inside. They get it inside for Hutchinson. Right block, turnaround shot off the glass, no good. Fighting for the rebound. It's going to be tracked down by Hutchinson left side. She's on the dribble now, back out front to Freeling. Freeling going to reset the offense to Maydew, left wing. Out front to Freeling. They swing it around to Colby, right wing. Back to Freeling between the circles to Maydew, left wing. Maydew looks inside. She takes one dribble. Now looks for Hutchinson. Hutchinson going to be fouled. Micah Kuhlman going to pick up her second personal foul and the first Lady Plainsman team foul.
Good pass to get it to Hutchinson there. Nice bounce pass, almost out of reach, but able to reach out there, bounce it right back into her. Then just getting fouled as Kuhlman turned around, and Hutchinson was just right there and kind of running over Hutchinson.
Hutchinson has it, free throw line jumper, good. Grayson Hutchinson, 6 points. And it makes it 22-17. The Lady Plainsmen lead the Smith Center Lady Red. Selzer has it left block, kicks it out. Kuhlman left wing for 3. This one no good. Rebounded by Hutchinson, and Taylor Van Eaton going to pick up the foul. This will be Taylor's first and the second on the Oakley Lady Plainsmen.
Nice job there by Grayson Hutchinson on the other end on that last shot. She got the ball, was open, but didn't feel comfortable at that area. Took a dribble into the middle of the lane, able to put the shot up there, get it, and then go down and get the defensive rebound on the other end. Just kind of stepping up here a little bit.
22-17 the score. The Oakley Lady Plainsmen lead the Smith Center Lady Red. Stolen away by Zimmerman. Zimmerman's layup, no good, but she's going to the free throw line as Natasha Colby picks up her second personal foul, second Lady Red team foul.
Right idea. They're trying to just do a bounce past Zimmerman, but Zimmerman's just quick with her hand and tipped it back to her.
So Zimmerman's first one is good. She now has 13 points and makes it 23-17. The Oakley Lady Plainsmen leading the Smith Center Lady Red here in the 7th place girls game of the MCL tournament. Zimmerman's second one good as well. She now has 14 and extends the Lady Plainsmen lead 24-17 over the Smith Center Lady Red. Natasha Colby has it all the way down to the left baseline. Underneath for Freeling, up and in. Nice work that time by the Lady Red.
You said it. Good work there by the Lady Red. Right idea on the bounce pass to Freeling, as if you tried to overhead pass that one, it was going to be picked off there by the Lady Plainsmen.
And Natasha Colby just picks up her third personal foul, and the third Lady Red team foul is she's going to get called for the block. The score is 24-19, and the Oakley Lady Plainsmen lead the Smith Center Lady Red. 5:35 left to go in this third quarter. Lady Plainsmen basketball. Zimmerman now to Kuhlman. That's Hefner, excuse me. Now to Kuhlman. Kuhlman top of the key, around to Corbett, left wing. Corbett drives in, leaves it off for Zimmerman, top of the key. Fakes right, goes left. Van Eaton to Hefner. All the way around to Corbett. Now to Van Eaton. They look inside, backside pass to Hefner. She's at the left wing. Skip pass to Corbett, top of the key. Back around to Van Eaton, right wing. Van Eaton looks in, skip pass. Tipped out there by Natasha Colby. Back into the hands of Jenna Zimmerman, though. To Van Eaton, now to Corbett, right wing. Corbett working against Hutchinson. Now to Hefner. To Kuhlman. Around to Van Eaton, left wing. Van Eaton down to the left corner to Corbett. She's going to drive baseline. Tries to split the defense. Stolen away by Hutchinson. She leads the break. Ahead to Freeling. Freeling right block. And nope, she's going to get called for the travel. Got a little stutter step in there, and that's what she's going to get called for.
I would have to agree with you on that one. Right idea to get it up to Freeling. Just that stutter step got her. Otherwise, good idea. She would have had a nice layup.
Holly Timmons comes in. Natasha Colby going to take a seat for the Lady Red. For the Lady Plainsmen, Lauren Ballman comes in. And Elise Corbett going to take a seat. 4:45 left to go in the third quarter. The Oakley Lady Plainsmen lead the Smith Center Lady Red 24-19. Full court pressure by the Lady Red. Zimmerman has it now to Van Eaton. Van Eaton. Ball tipped in the hands of Zimmerman. Zimmerman picks up her dribble now to Van Eaton across the timeline. Nope, that's a 10-second call.
Nice job there by the Lady Red. Getting a 10-second call there. Just a lot of pressure on them. Able to get a turnover.
A full court pressure working that time for the Lady Red. The Lady Plainsmen couldn't get it across the timeline in that 10 seconds. So it's Lady Red basketball. Tipped out there by Ballman. It will remain Lady Red basketball. 4:26 left to go in the third quarter. 24-19 is our score. The Oakley Lady Plainsmen lead the Smith Center Lady Red. Freeling to Holly Timmons, left corner. Takes one dribble in. Inside for Hutchinson. Left block high off the glass. Hits the basket support out of bounds. Lady Plainsmen basketball with 4:19 left to go in the third quarter.
Right idea there by Holly Timmons. Kind of put the ball on the court. Made the two defenders that were guarding Hutchinson. One of them had to come out and guard her. Able to just bounce pass right around to Hutchinson in the block.
Freeling tips this ball out of bounds, so it'll remain Lady Plainsmen basketball. Zimmerman looks ahead for Ballman. Ballman drives in, stops, pops left elbow. Good.
Good quick shot there by Ballman. Got it. Took one dribble and went right up with it.
Maydew has it. Jump ball called. Lady Red basketball with 4:03 left to go in the third quarter. The Oakley Lady Plainsmen lead the Smith Center Lady Red 26-19. Kendra Maydew will inbound the basketball for the Lady Red. Does so to Bree Freeling. Freeling back to Maydew right side. Now to Freeling. To Hutchinson. Back to Freeling. Freeling back to Hutchinson. Down to Holly Timmons in the left corner. Back out to Casey Timmons. Casey, backside pass to Freeling. Right block up and in.
Good look there by Timmons. Had to get Freeling the ball either. Otherwise, Freeling had to get out of the lane. She was right there on the verge of getting a 3-second call.
Holly Timmons tips this one out of bounds, so it'll remain Lady Plainsmen basketball. It's So Michaela Dietz comes in for the Lady Red. Grayson Hutchinson going to take a seat. Micah Kuhlman and Jenna Zimmerman take a seat for the Lady Plainsmen. Elise Corbett and Shanley Selzer come back in for the Lady Plainsmen. Lady Plainsmen basketball, 3.5 minutes left to play in the third quarter. 26-21 is our score. The Oakley Lady Plainsmen lead the Smith Center Lady Red by 5. Hefner kicks it out to Van Eaton. Van Eaton now to Corbett, around to Ballman. Back inside for Van Eaton. Van Eaton at the right block and going to have a foul called. Foul's going to be on the Lady Red, their 4th team foul. Foul's on Michaela Dietz, her first personal foul. 3:21 left to play in the third quarter. Oakley Lady Plainsmen lead by 5, 26-21. Van Eaton has it at the free throw line, kicks out to Corbett, right wing, to Ballman. They swing it to Hefner, left wing. Hefner back to Ballman, now to Corbett, right wing. Back to Hefner, left wing, left baseline to Ballman. She dribbles up left wing. Nobody covers her, so she takes a shot. No good. Rebound tracked down by Ballman. Now to Hefner, right wing. Back to Ballman, to Corbett, top of the key. Corbett back around to Hefner, right wing. Hefner looked inside. Nobody to pass to, so she gives it to Van Eaton, right corner. Back out to Corbett, right side. 2:45 left to go in the third quarter. A 5-point lead for the Oakley Lady Plainsmen over the Smith Center Lady Red. Corbett with it, right wing. She'll put up the 3, no good. Rebound tracked down by Katie Hefner for the Oakley Lady Plainsmen. Corbett going to reset the offense now to Lauren Ballman. Back out front to Katie Hefner. They swing it around to Elise Corbett, left corner. Looked inside for Selzer, couldn't get it to her. And the ball is going to be tipped and stolen away by Freeling. Freeling left block off the glass, no good. But she's going to the free throw line as Ballman going to get called for the foul. Her first personal, 3rd Lady Plainsman team foul. And Freeling heads back to the free throw line for the Lady Red.
Good quick hands there by Freeling, able to tip the ball out of there and take off, pick it up, get down to the other end as she's up in the air for the layup. Just kind of getting pushed as she was up there.
Freeling misses the first one. She is 2 of 5 from the free throw line. Trying to cut into the Lady Plainsmen lead. Freeling's second one is no good as well. And jump ball called Lady Plainsmen basketball. 2:20 left to go in the third quarter. Zimmerman comes back in for the Lady Plainsmen. Also coming in, Caitlin Williams. Ballman takes a seat. Also taking a seat is Taylor Van Eaton. 2:20 left to play in the third quarter. The Oakley Lady Plainsmen lead the Smith Center Lady Red in the 7th place game on the girls' side of the MCL tournament. It is Hefner ahead to Zimmerman across the timeline. Zimmerman to Williams, back to Zimmerman. Now to Hefner, back to Zimmerman. Out front to Corbett, inside for Williams. Williams takes one dribble, back to Corbett. Ball on the court, jump ball called. Lady Red basketball. 2:04 left to go in the third quarter, and the Oakley Lady Plainsmen lead the Smith Center Lady Red 26-21.
Good job there by Freeling and Corbett, both of them getting to the floor there and getting that ball tied up. Thankfully for Freeling, it gets the ball back in the Lady Red's hands.
Holly Timmons has it left wing, out front to Freeling. Looks for Maydew at the right block, and ball is going to be tipped out off of the Lady Plainsmen. So Lady Red basketball. Minute 55 left to go in the third quarter. Still a 5-point lead for the Oakley Lady Plainsmen over the Smith Center Lady Red, 26-21. Holly Timmons to inbound for the Lady Red. She's looking, gets it into Casey Timmons. Casey, right baseline shot blocked by Selzer, and to the hands of Hefner. Now to Corbett. Elise Corbett ahead to Jenna Zimmerman. She's at the right wing, picks up her dribble there to Hefner. Hefner on the dribble, picks it up now to Corbett. Corbett going to swing it around to Zimmerman left side. Zimmerman looks in for Selzer, couldn't get it to her. Now to Hefner. Hefner back to Zimmerman left side, out front to Corbett. Corbett takes one dribble into the paint. Now to Williams, out front to Zimmerman. Zimmerman drives in, right block, no good. Rebounded by Michaela Dietz. Dietz looking to pass off and does so to Freeling. Freeling brings it across the timeline down to Holly Timmons, left corner. Out front to Freeling, back to Timmons. Holly going to put up the 3, no good, off the back of the iron. Rebounded by Elise Corbett. Corbett brings it up the court now for the Lady Plainsmen, working against Bree Freeling. She's in the center circle with 1 minute left to go in the third quarter. A 5-point lead for the Oakley Lady Plainsmen, 26-21. Williams has it now to Hefner. They swing it around to Corbett, left wing. Thought about the 3, didn't take it, took a couple dribbles in, and she's going to be fouled and go to the free throw line. 5th team foul on the Lady Red. Sends Elise Corbett at the free throw line. Corbett's first one is on its way and good. So that foul's on Kendra Maydew, her 4th personal foul. Hutchison comes in. Maydew going to take a seat. Selzer and Hefner both take a seat. Van Eaton and Kuhlman come back in for the Lady Plainsmen. Corbett looking to extend the lead. Does so. She goes 2 for 2 that trip. Makes it 28-21. A 7-point lead for the Oakley Lady Plainsmen over the Smith Center Lady Red. 45 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Hutchison tries to save it in. Goes out of bounds. And it will be Lady Plainsmen basketball with 41 seconds left to play in the third quarter. 28-21 is the score. The Oakley Lady Plainsmen lead the Smith Center Lady Red. So it is Corbett bringing it left to right on your radio dial. Now to Zimmerman. Back to Corbett between the circles to Williams. Quick passes all the way around to Kuhlman. Right corner. No good for 3. Rebound fought for. And Williams going to be the last one to touch it. So it goes out of bounds, and it will be Lady Red basketball. 26 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Still a 7-point lead for the Oakley Lady Plainsmen. 28-21. Freeling now to Holly Timmons. Back to Freeling, trying to break this Lady Plainsmen press. They do so. Hutchison all the way in. No good. Fighting for the rebound. Jump ball called. It will be Lady Plainsmen basketball as Freeling and Van Eaton fighting for that basketball that time. Got tied up. Jump ball called. Lady Plainsmen basketball. 16 seconds left to go in the third quarter.
Good drive there by Hutchison. Ball kind of got tipped a little bit into her and just kind of kept on trying to get away from her, but she was able to keep it under control to get the layup.
Van Eaton brings it ahead to Kuhlman. Kuhlman back to Van Eaton. They swing it around to Corbett. Corbett inside for Williams. Turnaround shot blocked by Dietz. Right in the hands of Van Eaton, though. Back around to Corbett at the buzzer. No good. And that's going to do it for the third quarter with the Oakley Lady Plainsmen leading the Smith Center Lady Red 28-21. We're going to take a timeout here, come back, and bring you fourth quarter action right after this. As you're listening to MCL tournament coverage here on KQMA and the World Wide Web. Welcome back to Waukegan and Trigo High School, the host site for the 2017 Mid-Continent League Basketball Tournament. Jesse Ray alongside Robbie Gibson. This is the 7th place girls game of this MCL tournament. The Oakley Lady Plainsmen lead the Smith Center Lady Red 28-21. The Lady Red able to outscore the Lady Plainsmen though in that third quarter 8-6 to cut into the Lady Plainsmen lead. It is Lady Red basketball to start the fourth quarter as they look inside for Casey Timmons, stolen away by Micah Kuhlman. Corbett has it, now to Van Eaton. Taylor Van Eaton ahead to Jenna Zimmerman for the Lady Plainsmen, to Caitlin Williams. Williams out to Corbett. Corbett drives into the paint, puts the shot up over Dietz, no good, foul called. And it looks like Elise Corbett can head to the line and shoot two.
I believe this is going to be on Dietz as she went to kind of put a hand up in Corbett's face on that shot and just kind of run into her with her body. Kind of Corbett moving towards her and Dietz just moving towards each other, kind of a collision course.
As Corbett hits the first one, extends the Lady Plainsmen lead. So now lead 29-21. Make that 30-21 as Corbett goes 2 for 2 that trip as well. Extends the Lady Plainsmen lead to 9. Again, 30-21 over the Smith Center Lady Red with 7:35 left to go in this ball game. Freeling to Hutchison, back to Freeling, right block off the glass, good.
Right idea there by Freeling, passes off to Hutchison and just slipped to the bottom of the lane there, and Hutchison able to get it right back to her.
Makes it a 7-point game. The Oakley Lady Plainsmen lead the Smith Center Lady Red 30-23. And a timeout called here by the Lady Plainsmen. So we'll take one with them. It's the Oakley Lady Plainsmen lead the Smith Center Lady Red 30-23. You're listening to MCL tournament coverage here on KQMA and the World Wide Web. Welcome back to Trigo High School, the MCL tournament. This is the 7th place girls game as the Oakley Lady Plainsmen lead the Smith Center Lady Red by 7, 30-23. 7 minutes left to go in this game. Lady Plainsmen basketball out of the timeout. Van Eaton to Corbett. Down to the right baseline to Kuhlman. Inside for Zimmerman. Ball gets tipped around, picked up by Freeling. Freeling going to bring it up the court now for the Lady Red. She's at the free throw line underneath for Holly Timmons, and Timmons going to get tripped up. And this will be the 4th team foul on the Lady Plainsmen.
Holly Timmons got fouled there, but done the right thing as she's fallen to the ground. She's seen Freeling right there and just kind of let the ball go, going right towards Freeling. So even if she didn't get the foul called there, the ball was going towards another teammate instead of getting a travel called.
Coleman picks up the foul as Katie Hefner comes back into the game for the Lady Plainsmen. Caitlin Williams takes a seat. Holly Timmons gets the inbounds pass for the Lady Red. She dribbles back out to the top of the key. Freeling with a left wing now. Back to Holly Timmons. Out front. Back to Freeling left side. She looks inside. Now back to Timmons. Holly with it to Hutchison. Right side. Inside for Casey Timmons on the right baseline. Timmons drives in. Baseline shot. No good. Rebounded by Jenna Zimmerman. Zimmerman leads the fast break now for the Lady Plainsmen. Stops. Pops right side. No good. Rebounded by Casey Timmons. And Jenna Zimmerman just picked up her 3rd personal foul. The 5th Lady Plainsmen team foul.
Nice job there by Zimmerman getting the rebound, taken off the other way. Gave a little hop step and let the defense go right past her on that shot, but unfortunately for her, it didn't go in.
And she picked up her 3rd personal foul. Again, that was the 5th team foul for the Lady Plainsmen with 6:12 left to go in the 4th quarter. They look inside for Casey Timmons, tipped out of there by Elise Corbett in the hands of Katie Hefner. Back to Corbett. Corbett going to bring it ahead and now to Jenna Zimmerman. Zimmerman in the right corner. Looks to pass it off, does so to Corbett, right side. Swing pass around to Hefner. Inside for Van Eaton to Corbett. Down to the right corner to Coleman. Now to Zimmerman, right wing. 5:50 left to go in the ball game. The Oakley Lady Plainsmen lead the Smith Center Lady Red 30-23. They try to get it to inside for Zimmerman. Jump ball called. It will remain Lady Plainsmen basketball.
Good try to bounce pass in there, but 2 Lady Red defenders right there to grab a hold of it as soon as it got to in that area.
Van Eaton inbounds to Zimmerman. On the inbounds, good.
Good look to catch Zimmerman as she went to the top of the key, set a screen, turned around, and was wide open to get the pass.
Her first points of this 4th quarter and makes it a 9-point Lady Plainsmen lead. Holly Timmons and Michaela Dietz. Dietz' shot no good. Rebounded by Katie Hefner. 32-23. The Oakley Lady Plainsmen lead the Smith Center Lady Red with 5:20 left to go into this ball game. Corbett brings it across the timeline. Now to Van Eaton. She's in the center circle to Zimmerman. Zimmerman right side to Corbett. Top of the key around to Kuhlman left wing. And Kuhlman faked. Tried to put the ball in the court. Shrugged that foot.
Exactly right. It was a good idea on trying to get the fake there. As the fake got her to the room she needed to go to the top of the key. Just that back foot kind of drug on her.
Score remains 32-23. The Oakley Lady Plainsmen lead the Smith Center Lady Red. 5 minutes left to play in this 7th place girls game. Timmons inside for Freeling to Michaela Dietz. Left block, no good. Ball saved into the hands of Dietz, and jump ball called Lady Red basketball. 4:48 left to go in this game, and the Oakley Lady Plainsmen lead the Smith Center Lady Red 32-23. Looking for the winner here in the 7th place girls game of the MCL tournament. They get the ball into Casey Timmons. She's quick on the trigger. No good. Gets her own rebound at the free throw line. Looks underneath for Holly. Stolen away, though, by Jenna Zimmerman. As Zimmerman passes off to Corbett. Corbett going to slow things up. Brings it across the timeline with 4:35 left to go in this ball game. And again, the Lady Plainsmen of Oakley lead the Smith Center Lady Red 32-23. Taylor Van Eaton now to Micah Kuhlman out front to Zimmerman. Zimmerman between the circles, back over to Corbett, left wing. Corbett letting things set up here to Hefner, top of the key, to Van Eaton, left wing. Van Eaton out front to Kuhlman. Kuhlman picked up there by Freeling. Now to Zimmerman, right side. 4:05 left to go in the ball game. Zimmerman has it. Now to Corbett. Corbett on the dribble, kicks it out to Van Eaton, left side. Van Eaton going to hold on to it. Now to Hefner, top of the key. She'll put up the 3, buries it.
Good shot there by Hefner. Had a defender coming out on her, but Hefner able to drill that 3-pointer.
So timeout on the court with 3:51 left to go into this ball game. The Oakley Lady Plainsmen lead the Smith Center Lady Red 35-23. We'll take a timeout with them as you're listening to MCL tournament coverage here on KQMA and the World Wide Web. Welcome back to Waukene and Trigo High School. Jesse Ray alongside Robbie Gibson. 35-23 is our score in the 7th place girls matchup of the MCL tournament. The Oakley Lady Plainsmen with that 35-23 lead over the Smith Center Lady Red. Is Lady Red basketball out of the timeout. Freeling to Holly Timmons, left wing. Back to Freeling out front. Freeling tracks it down before it goes backcourt. She's on the dribble, loses it again, picks it back up. Now to Casey Timmons. Casey back to Freeling. Now to Holly Timmons, left wing. Looks inside for Casey Timmons. Casey takes one dribble, looks to pass off. She's surrounded by 3 Lady Plainsmen. Holly Timmons, left wing, long 2, no good. Rebounded by Hutchinson. Hutchinson's put back, no good. And going to be jump ball called. It will be Lady Plainsmen basketball, as that was Corbett and Hutchinson tied up that time. Selzer comes back in for the Lady Plainsmen. Coleman going to take a seat for the Lady Plainsmen there. Michaela Dietz going to take a seat as Kendra Maydew came back in for the Lady Red. 3:20 left to play in the 7th place girls game, and the Oakley Lady Plainsmen lead the Smith Center Lady Red 35-23. Corbett breaks the press across the timeline to Van Eaton, to the left corner to Zimmerman. Left block, and she's going to get called for the travel. So it'll be Lady Red basketball with 3:07 left to go in the game. Again, the Oakley Lady Plainsmen leading the Smith Center Lady Red 35-23. Freeling brings it up for the Lady Red. She's between the circles, right side to Maydew. Now back to Freeling. Left side to Holly Timmons. To Hutchison. Looked for a cutting Maydew. Out of her reach, out of bounds. It's going to be Lady Plainsmen basketball with 2:55 left to go in the 4th quarter. And the Oakley Lady Plainsmen have a 35-23 lead as Holly Timmons tips this one out of bounds. It will remain Lady Plainsmen basketball.
Good read there by Holly Timmons to come in there and tip that one out of there. One of the Lady Plainsmen kind of got in the way there. Otherwise, Holly Timmons might have been able to run that one down and get a layup.
Corbett has it. Now to Van Eaton trying to break the Lady Red press. Elise Corbett brings it across the timeline down to Katie Hefner. Hefner back to Corbett, right side. 2:40 left to go in this ball game. The Oakley Lady Plainsmen lead the Smith Center Lady Red 35-23. Corbett with it. And going to have a foul call. This will be the 7th team foul on the Lady Red. And I believe the first on Bree Freeling. We'll see for sure. Foul is on Bree Freeling, her first. And it sends Elise Corbett back to the free throw line. She's 4 of 4 from the line so far in the 7th place matchup. Make that 5 for 5. She now has 9 points, and it extends the Lady Plainsmen lead to 13, 36-23. Going to try to make it a 14-point game. Cannot. Misses that one. Rebounded by Casey Timmons. Hands it off to Bree Freeling as Freeling brings it up for the Lady Red. To Holly Timmons, left wing. Back to Freeling, top of the key. Inside for Hutchinson as she tries to split the defense. Ball gets tipped around. Hutchinson looks underneath for Holly Timmons, left block. She's going to the free throw line. This will be the 6th team foul on the Lady Plainsmen. And just might be the 4th one on Jenna Zimmerman, as it is. And it'll send Holly Timmons to the free throw line. Holly's first one is on its way. No good. Jordan Shoemaker comes back in. Kendra Maydew going to take a seat with 2:15 left to go in the 4th quarter. The Oakley Lady Plainsmen lead the Smith Center Lady Red 36-23. Holly Timmons gets her first point of the ball game, and it makes it a 36-24 score. The Oakley Lady Plainsmen lead the Smith Center Lady Red by 12. Again, full court pressure by the Lady Red. It's Corbett. Looks to pass off as she's trapped by Timmons and Freeling. Now to Selzer, and a timeout called with 2:05 left to go in the 4th quarter. And the Oakley Lady Plainsmen in the lead, the Smith Center Lady Red 36-24. We'll take a timeout with them as you're listening to MCL tournament coverage here on KQMA and the World Wide Web.
Web.
「 Welcome back to Waukene and Trigo High School. Jess Ray alongside Robbie Gibson. The Oakley Lady Plainsmen lead the Smith Center Lady Red 36-24 here in the 7th place girls matchup of this MCL tournament. Taylor Van Eaton, Katie Hefner, Jenna Zimmerman, Lauren Baldman, and Elise Corbett for the Lady Plainsmen. Grayson Hutchinson, Casey and Holly Timmons, Bree Freeling, and Jordan Shoemaker for the Lady Red. It is Lady Plainsmen basketball out of the timeout. Zimmerman will inbound to Elise Corbett. Corbett going to bring it up with 2 minutes left to go in this ball game across the timeline. Dribbles over to the left side, picked up quickly by Shoemaker. Now to Van Eaton. Van Eaton dribbles over to the right wing. She looks to pass it off now to Ballman. Ballman dribbles over to the right wing, guarded tightly by Holly Timmons. Out front to Hefner. Hefner on the dribble, picks it up, guarded tightly by Freeling. Back to Corbett. Corbett guarded by Shoemaker, and Shoemaker going to get called for the foul. This will be her second personal foul and the 8th Lady Red team foul.
Shoemaker there just trying to reach in and get the ball to tip it out of there. Lady Red went to a man-to-man defense, trying to push some tempo here a little bit, trying to get the ball back. And Shoemaker just reaching in, trying to get the ball.
So Elise Corbett at the free throw line. First one's on its way. Hits the first into the 1-and-1. She now has 10 points. She's 5 of 6 from the free throw line in this ball game. Now 5 of 7. As she misses that one. Makes it a 37-24 lead for the Oakley Lady Plainsmen. Shoemaker to Holly Timmons, left side. Underneath for Hutchinson. Back out to Holly Timmons, left wing. Casey now to Shoemaker, top of the key for 3. No good. And it's going to go out of bounds off of the Lady Red. So Lady Plainsmen basketball with a minute 22 left to play in this 7th place girls matchup. And the Oakley Lady Plainsmen lead the Smith Center Lady Red by 13, 37-24. Still full court pressure by the Lady Red. Elise Corbett pushes it up the sideline, picks up her dribble, trapped by Freeling and Shoemaker. And another timeout called. A minute 14 left to go. And the Oakley Lady Plainsmen lead the Smith Center Lady Red 37-24. As it was a 28-21 lead at the end of the third quarter. The Oakley Lady Plainsmen had that lead. They've had the lead the whole game as they led by 6 after the first quarter, 12-6. They outscored the Lady Red by 3 in the second quarter, 10-7, making it 22-13 at halftime. The Lady Red did outscore the Lady Plainsmen in the third quarter, 8-6, but the Lady Plainsmen still had the lead at the end of the third quarter, 28-21. So we set at 37-24 right now here in the 7th place girls matchup between the Oakley Lady Plainsmen and the Smith Center Lady Red, and the Lady Plainsmen with that lead. So we take a quick look at the scoring here for both teams. For the Lady Red, leading the way, Bree Freeling with 14, 6 for Grayson Hutchinson, 1 for Holly Timmons, 1 for Casey Timmons, 2 for Kendra Maydew. For the Lady Plainsmen, 2 for Lauren Ballman, 10 for Elise Corbett, 16 for Jenna Zimmerman, 3 for Michael Kuhlman, and 6 for Katie Hefner. It is Lady Plainsmen basketball out of the timeout. They get the inbounds pass to Corbett with a minute 12 left to go in the fourth quarter. Corbett has it between the circles. Now to Hefner, and a foul called here on the Lady Red, their 9th team foul, and the 2nd on Bree Freeling. So Katie Hefner will go to the line to shoot 1-and-1 for the Lady Plainsmen as Selzer comes back into the game, and Ballman takes his seat. A minute 8 left to play here in the 7th place girls game. A 13-point lead for the Lady Plainsmen. Make that 18 as Hefner hits the first one. She now has 7 points for those coming here in this fourth quarter. Hefner getting set for the second one. It's on its way. No good. Rebounded by Van Eaton. Van Eaton dribbles out to Zimmerman. Zimmerman right side. 1 minute left to play in the 7th place girls game. 14-point lead for the Oakley Lady Plainsmen. Corbett now to Van Eaton. Van Eaton dribbles over to the right wing. Picks up her dribble there. Looks to pass off. Guarded tightly by Casey Timmons. Now to Selzer. Selzer up to the right wing. Bounce pass to Zimmerman. Zimmerman picked up by Hutchinson with 45 seconds left to go in the game. 38-24 is our score. The Oakley Lady Plainsmen lead the Smith Center Lady Red. Selzer dribbles over to the right wing. Picks up her dribble. Passes it off to Zimmerman. Zimmerman between the circles. Picked up by Hutchinson. Just under 30 seconds left to play. Van Eaton gets the tip pass. Picks up her dribble. Now looks to pass off. Still looking out front to Jenna Zimmerman. Zimmerman between the circles with 18 seconds left. Still a 14-point lead for the Oakley Lady Plainsmen, 38-24. Stolen away by Casey Timmons. Casey on the fast break. Layup is good.
Nice job there by Casey Timmons. Lady Plainsmen doing a good job running that stall offense, but Casey Timmons finally able to come through and get a steal.
That makes it the final 38-26. The Oakley Lady Plainsmen defeat the Smith Center Lady Red in the 7th place girls game. We're going to take a timeout. We'll come back and wrap things up for you here from Waukene for the 7th place girls game. You're listening to MCL tournament coverage here on KQMA and the World Wide Web. Welcome back to Waukene and Trigo High School. Jesse Ray alongside Robbie Gibson as the 7th place girls game just being completed as the Oakley Lady Plainsmen defeat the Smith Center Lady Red 38-26. We take a look at the scoring. First for the Lady Plainsmen, 2 points for Lauren Ballman. It was 10 points for Elise Corbett, 16 for Jenna Zimmerman, 3 for Micah Coolman, 7 for Katie Hefner. For the Lady Red, 14 for Bree Freeling, 6 for Grayson Hutchinson, 1 for Holly Timmons, 3 for Casey Timmons, 2 for Kendra Maydew. Robbie, how'd stats look?
For the Lady Red, they're 0 for 3 from the three-point line, 6 for 37 from the field, 6 for 16 from the free throw line, 13 defensive, 11 offensive rebounds, and 15 turnovers. For the Lady Plainsmen, they were 2 for 15 from the three-point line, 11 for 17 from the field, 11 for 18 from the free throw line, 15 defensive, 9 offensive rebounds, and 15 turnovers on the game as well.
All right, we're going to send it back to the station for a while here. When we come back, we will have the 7th place boys game between the Smith Center Redmen and the Hill City Ringneck. You've been listening to MCL tournament coverage here on 92.5 KQMA and the World Wide Web. Welcome back to Waukene and Trigo High School, the host site for the 2017 MCL basketball tournament. Jesse Ray alongside Robbie Gibson as we have one matchup of the day done, the 7th place girls game, won by the Oakley Lady Plainsmen 38-26 over the Smith Center Lady Red. As we get set for our second featured matchup of the morning, this is the 7th place boys game as the Smith Center Redmen will take on the Hill City Ringnecks. The Redmen come in to this ball game 4-7 on the year, coming off of a 3-point loss to the Trigo Golden Eagles on Thursday, 59-56, in a game which the Redmen had the lead most of the game. But the Golden Eagles able to put a huge fourth quarter together and come away with that 3-point victory. The Ringnecks, well, they are the number 3 seed in this tournament, but have lost to TMP 59-53. And then they lost to Ellis on Thursday, 52-49, to end up in the 7th place game. But one thing we know, Robbie, when we see a Hill City Ringneck team coached by Keith Riley, they are going to be disciplined. They are going to play great defense, and they're normally not going to beat themselves as they don't turn the ball over very often. And if somebody turns the ball over, normally you know where they're going. They're going right to the bench, as Coach Riley's going to tell them how to fix what they just did.
You are 100% correct there. Coach Riley, a veteran coach, but like you said, anytime you see this Hill City team, they come out, they take care of the ball, they play smart basketball, and they are well disciplined. They're not going to beat themselves, just like you said. They don't make the silly mistakes that you see a lot of teams make. But if they do happen to make a silly mistake, Coach Riley isn't afraid to let them know by, you just sit right here beside me, and he explains it to them. And then normally you don't see it happen again. And if you do, well, I'm sure there's probably not fun to be had in the next practice.
The Ringnecks led by Zach Wilson, the 5'10 senior. He's averaging 21.3 points a game, 13.9 rebounds a game. Last year, this Ringneck team, 4th in the state in Class 2A, as they finished 18-8 on the year. But they lost their leading player from a year ago, Claiborne Kyles, who is now a Hayes High Indian. And I'm sure Hayes very happy to have Claiborne Kyles on their team. But the Ringnecks, they've moved on. Zach Wilson has stepped up and took over even more of a leadership role than what he would have had anyway. And he's leading this team with 21 points.
You're right. I'm sure Hayes High very pleased to have Claiborne Kyles. But either way, you know, someone had to step up to take that role. Wilson, well, sure, why not me? And from the sounds of it, he's doing a good job of it. Tonight, I'm sure he's going to be the one, well, I want to say tonight as I'm so used to broadcasting these at night, but this morning, he's going to have to step up and get things going early for this team. As well, you look down there, the Redmen, they look to be back to getting some people back, as I know you had mentioned the Thane Benoit was out for one of the games here. Well, I see him suited back up, so, you know, he's going to be coming back and ready to go here.
He had 11 points on Thursday, all 11 coming in the first half for the Redmen on Thursday against Trigo. So we'll see Thane in the starting lineup as we normally do. Brett Meyer, the first few games of the season, well, weren't what we expected from Brett Meyer. After his sophomore campaign, everybody expected just huge things. 20 points a game, 10 rebounds, no problems for Brett Meyer. Well, the first few games, I think everybody knew that that's what the Smith Center Redmen wanted to do with this basketball, was get it to the 6'4 junior. But he's finally worked his way back into it. Maybe it's just he likes the Stockton auxiliary gym, as he had 25 points in one of those games, 24 points in another one. I'm sure we'll see another big game for Brett Meyer this morning. As we look at the starting lineups, first for the Hill City Ringnecks, it's going to be number 14, a 5'10 senior, Zach Wilson. Number 22, a 5'10 senior, Everett Brandyberry. Number 30, a 6'2 senior, Adam Van Lunen. Number 32, a 6'2 sophomore, Aaron McDowell. And number 20, a 5'11 junior, Garrett Hanley. For the Redmen, it's going to be number 3, a 6' senior, Thane Benoit. Number 4, a 6' junior, Jesse Staples. Number 21, a 5'8 sophomore, Colby Benoit. Number 25, a 6'4 junior, Brett Meyer. And number 42, a 6'1 junior, Camden Dietz is the Redmen. The home team, as they are in those home white jerseys, the red numbers and the green trim. The ring necks and those road red jerseys with the white numbers and the white trim. As we're getting set here for the 7th place boys game, the Smith Center Redmen taking on the Hill City Ringnecks. Again, for the Ringnecks, it is Wilson, Brandyberry, along with Van Lunen, McDowell, and Hanley. For the Redmen, Benoit, Staples, Meyer, and Dietz. It is Brett Meyer versus Zach Wilson in the center circle. A little bit of height advantage for Brett Meyer in this tip-off.
Well, he does have a little bit of height advantage there, and he, well, uses every bit of it.
As it's going to be Jesse Staples with it across the timeline. He has it right side. Staples on the dribble, drives in, picks up his dribble, kicks out Thane Benoit right wing. Inside for Camden Dietz. Dietz inside for Staples, right block, blocked by Wilson, foul called. And Jesse Staples heading to the free throw line.
Good there by Camden Dietz to get it into Staples. As Staples was cutting along baseline, Dietz just turned, lobbed it over top of the defenders right into Staples.
Staples misses the first one. So, foul was on Adam Van Lunen for the Ringnecks. His first, team first. Staples getting set for the second free throw now. He misses both of them, fighting for the rebound, rebounded by Zach Wilson. Wilson brings it up the court, right to left on your radio dial for the Hill City Ringnecks. They swing it around to Hanley, left wing. Inside for Van Lunen, right block, up and in.
Nice look to catch Van Lunen as Van Lunen was at the top of the key, cut down, got his screen. Well, Cam Dietz got screened off of him, and Van Lunen wide open underneath.
Colby Benoit, left block. Now to Camden Dietz, right block, no good. Dietz gets his own rebound, put back again, no good. Rebounded by Adam Van Lunen. 7:10 left to go in the first quarter. The Hill City Ringnecks lead the Smith Center Redmen 2-0. Zach Wilson with it, left side, out front to Hanley. Tipped out there by Staples. And Staples tried to save it in, out of bounds off of the Redmen. So it'll be Ringneck basketball. 7 minutes left to go in the first quarter. 2-0 is our score here. The Hill City Ringnecks lead the Smith Center Redmen in this 7th place boys game. Van Lunen looks to inbound, does so to Wilson. Wilson going to be working against Thane Benoit. Wilson calls out the offense, now to Brandyberry, left wing for three, no good, rebounded by Jesse Staples. Staples going to bring it up the court, left side for the Redmen across the timeline with 6:45 left to go in the first quarter. Brett Meyer with it, now to Colby Benoit, right corner. Out front to Thane Benoit. Thane thought about the three, didn't take it, now to Colby, right wing. Out front for Meyer, they swing around to Thane, left wing. Thane directing traffic, now to Camden Dietz out front. They swing around Colby Benoit, right wing. He looks inside with just under 6.5 minutes left to play in the first quarter. The Hill City Ringnecks lead the Smith Center Redmen 2-0. Colby Benoit under the basket, dribbles back out to Jesse Staples. Staples looks in, now to Colby Benoit, left corner. He dribbles up left wing, out front to Brett Meyer. They're swinging around to Thane Benoit, right wing. Benoit gets a screen, they get it back to Meyer, and it's stolen away by Brandyberry. Brandyberry brings it up the court for the Ringnecks now with 6 minutes left to go in the first quarter. Van Lunen between the circles, around to Hanley, right wing. Out front to Zach Wilson. Fakes left, goes right. Free throw line jumper, no good. Fighting for the rebound, rebounded by Colby Benoit. Colby pushes it up the left side of the court. Now to Jesse Staples, right wing. Out front to Brett Meyer. They swing it around to Colby, left side. Looked inside for Meyer, couldn't get it to him. Now to Dietz, top of the key to Staples, right wing. 5:35 left to go in the first quarter. The Hill City Ringnecks lead the Smith Center Redmen 2-0. Redmen basketball. Colby Benoit has it left wing. He's going to drive to the top of the key. Now to Staples, right side. They swing it to Thane Benoit. Inside for Brett Meyer. Tipped out there and stolen away by Hanley. Now stolen back away by Thane Benoit. Tipped out there by Wilson. Wilson's going to lead the fast break. One-on-one with Camden Dietz. Euro step around Dietz. Good.
Right idea there by Dietz. Just setting up to take the charge. But nice little step there by Wilson to get it past him and get a layup.
5:09 left to go in the first quarter. The Hill City Ringnecks lead the Smith Center Redmen 4-0. We'll take a timeout with them as you're listening to MCL tournament coverage here on KQMA and the World Wide Web. Welcome back to Waukene and Tree Hill High School. Jesse Ray alongside Robbie Gibson. The Hill City Ringnecks lead the Smith Center Redmen 4-0 here in the 7th place boys game. Zach Wilson along with Adam Van Lunen, Aaron McDowell, also Garrett Hanley, and Everett Brandyberry on the court for the Ringnecks. For the Redmen, it is Jesse Staples along with Colby and Thane Benoit, Brett Meyer, and Camden Dietz. Redmen basketball out of the timeout. Thane Benoit has the top of the key. Now to Camden Dietz. They look inside for Brett Meyer. Can't get it to him. Now to Colby Benoit in the left corner. He takes one dribble to Staples, left wing. Out front to Brett Meyer. Inside for Camden Dietz. Right block. No good. Rebounded by McDowell. McDowell now to Wilson. Wilson brings up the court. Across the timeline. He's going to drive all the way in. Tipped out there by Dietz. Fast break opportunity for Brett Meyer. Layup good. So Brett Meyer gets the first points of this ball game for the Smith Center Redmen. And it's now a 4-2 score. The Hill City Ringnecks lead the Smith Center Redmen. Hanley to McDowell, to Wilson, to Brandyberry, back to Wilson. Wilson going to set up the offense with 4:15 left to go in the first quarter. And the Hill City Ringnecks leading the Smith Center Redmen 4-2. Wilson for Van Lunen. Now to Brandyberry, right wing for three. No good. Rebounded by Zach Wilson. Wilson is going to go to the free throw line. This will be the first team foul on the Redmen. Let's see who they call this one on. It's going to be on Camden Dietz, his first personal foul.
Good job by Wilson there, coming in from the top of the key to get that rebound. Almost flew over top of his head as the ball came off really hard. Able to get it and go right back up with it.
Wilson hits the first one. Brett Decker comes into the game. Camden Dietz going to take a seat. 4:04 left to go in the first quarter. The Hill City Ringneck lead the Smith Center Redmen 5-2. So Wilson trying to extend the Ringneck lead, does so. He hits both of them. He now has 4 of the 6 for the Ringnecks as they lead 6-2. For the Smith Center Redmen, 4 minutes left to play in the first quarter of this 7th place boys game of the MCL tournament. Staples has it. Now to Thane Benoit. Benoit to Colby in the right corner. Colby Benoit with it. He looks now to Staples right side. Jesse Staples on the dribble with 3:45 left to go in the first quarter. Dribbles to the top of the key. Now to Thane Benoit, left wing. Back to Staples, top of the key. Back to Benoit, left wing. Back to Staples, top of the key. Now to Colby Benoit, right wing. Looks underneath for Brett Decker. Out of bounds off of the Redmen. It will be Ringneck basketball. 3:34 left to go in the first quarter. And the Hill City Ringnecks lead the Smith Center Redmen 6-2. Van Lunen has it. Now to Hanley. Hanley ahead to Wilson. Wilson drives in, leaves it off for Brandyberry, right baseline. Now to Hanley. Hanley back to Brandyberry. He dribbles to the right wing, out front to Wilson now. Wilson going to reset the offense. 3:15 left to go in this first quarter. 4-point lead for the Hill City Ringnecks, 6-2 over the Smith Center Redmen. Brandyberry right wing to Wilson, top of the key. He's going to drive in, puts the shot up in the paint. No good. Rebound fought for, and Brett Meyer comes away with the rebound for the Redmen. He hands it off to Thane Benoit. Thane up the right side. Between the leg dribble, now top of the key, around to Jesse Staples, tipped out there by Garrett Hanley, and it will remain Redmen basketball. 2:57 left to go in the first quarter. The Hill City Ringnecks lead the Smith Center Redmen 6-2.
Good quick hands there by Hanley to tip that one out of there. Nice job by Staples on just turning his back to the ball and then he'd go out of bounds.
Brett Meyer has it at the free throw line. Ball gets tipped out of there by Hanley again in the hands of Colby Benoit. No, now to Brett Decker. Decker, right block, blocked by Van Lunen. Put back by Brett Meyer is good.
Tough shot there by Decker as he was underneath the backboard, had to try to reach out and put that shot up there. Van Lunen able to get a block on it, and Meyer right in the right place.
Brett Meyer comes away with the steal, but it goes right in the hands of Wilson. Now to McDowell, and McDowell's going to get the basket. Count it, he's going to line for an and one as Brett Decker picks up his first personal foul, second Redmen team foul.
Good move there by McDowell as he just kind of gave a pump fake. Decker went up and just jumped into Decker.
McDowell's and one attempt is good. He now has 3 points, and the Hill City Ringnecks lead the Smith Center Redmen by 5, 9-4 in the 7th place boys game of the MCL tournament. Benoit has it now to Brett Meyer at the free throw line. Underneath for Decker, left block up and in.
Nice look by Brett Meyer to get it to Brett Decker underneath there. Good little move there by Decker to get off the backboard.
2:10 left to go in the first quarter. The Hill City Ringnecks lead the Smith Center Redmen by 3. Hanley behind the back dribble, stops, pops in the paint. Good. Garrett Hanley gets his first points of this ball game, and it makes it a 5-point Hill City lead, 11-6 over the Smith Center Redmen. Brett Meyer couldn't track this one down. Goes out of bounds. Hill City basketball as Clay Winslow and Trace Haven come in. Brett Decker and Jesse Staples take a seat. A minute 53 left to go in the first quarter. It is a 5-point lead for the Hill City Ringnecks over the Smith Center Redmen. This is the 7th place boys game of the MCL tournament. Wilson has it. Ball gets tipped, and Haven comes away with the steal. Haven on the fast break. Layup. Good.
Nice job there by Haven playing the passing lane, able to get through there and take off the other way with it.
Timeout on the court. We'll take one with them. As you're listening to MCL tournament coverage here on KQMA and the World Wide Web. Welcome back to Waukegan and Trigo High School. Jesse Ray alongside Robbie Gibson. 7th place boys game of this MCL tournament. And the Hill City Ringnecks lead the Smith Center Redmen 11-8. Zach Wilson to Everett Brandenberry. Left corner for three. Buries it. That makes it 14-8. The Hill City Ringnecks lead the Smith Center Redmen. Thane Benoit to Brett Meyer. Meyer left side. Looks in. Now hands it back off to Thane Benoit. Benoit on the dribble. Working against Brandenberry. Dribbles in, free throw line, kicks out Colby Benoit, right corner for three, no good. Rebounded by Zach Wilson for Hill City. 1 minute left to go in the first quarter. The Hill City Ringnecks lead the Smith Center Redmen 14-8. Wilson trapped by the Benoits, gets the pass off to Brandenberry, skips it to Hanley, right wing for three, no good. Rebound by McDowell, but he's going to fall to the floor. Travel called, and will be Redmen basketball. 49 seconds left to go in the first quarter, and the Hill City Ringnecks lead the Smith Center Redmen 14-8. Thane Benoit inbounds to Trace Haven. Haven back to Thane Benoit. Benoit left to right on your radio dial for the Redmen to Colby Benoit. Colby comes away with it underneath for Winslow. No good. Rebounded by Hanley. Hanley leads the break for the Ringnecks. Drives in. Shot up. No good. Rebounded by Winslow for the Redmen. Winslow outlets ahead to Trace Haven. Haven up the right side of the court. Going to set things up with 23 seconds left to go in the first quarter. And the Hill City Ringnecks leading the Smith Center Redmen 14-8. Brett Meyer with it. Picks up his dribble. Looks to pass off. Does so Thane Benoit. Benoit drives left baseline off the glass and good.
Nice job there by Thane Benoit. Little stall layup there as he had to get past the Ringneck's outstretched hand.
That makes it a 4-point Hill City Ringneck lead. 14-10. 1 second left. And that's going to do it for the first quarter with the Hill City Ringnecks leading the Smith Center Redmen 14-10. We'll take a timeout here, come back, bring a second quarter action as you're listening to MCL tournament coverage here on KQMA and the World Wide Web. Welcome back to Waukegan and Trigo High School. Jesse Ray alongside Robbie Gibson. After the first quarter, the Hill City Ringnecks lead the Smith Center Redmen 14-10. Robbie, how'd that first quarter look?
For the Redmen, they were 0 for 1 from the three-point line, 5 for 12 from the field, 0 for 2 from the free throw line, 2 offensive, 5 defensive rebounds, and 4 turnovers. For the Ringnecks, they were 1 for 4 from the three-point line, 4 for 12 from the field, 3 for 3 from the free throw line, 2 offensive, 5 defensive rebounds, and 3 turnovers.
Ringneck basketball to start the second quarter. Zach Wilson brings it up for the Ringnecks. He's between the circles, sets up the offense, picks up his dribble. Now to Bourne. Connor Bourne back to Zach Wilson. Wilson picks up his dribble once again, looks to pass it off, does so to Van Lunen, right wing. Now to Bourne. Bourne back to Zach Wilson. Wilson going to reset the offense. 7:35 left to go in the first half. Everett Brandenberry with it, left wing. Working against Jesse Staples. Kicks out Connor Bourne, right wing. Pump fakes. takes one dribble, shot up, no good. Rebounded by Jesse Staples for the Redmen. Staples brings it up the left side of the court for the Redmen. Left to right on your radio dial. He's at the top of the key. Staples picks up his dribble now to Brett Meyer. Pump fakes. Left baseline shot for Meyer. Good.
Nice job there by Brett Meyer, just going up above the defense. Defense in the right place, just Meyer going above him.
Meyer now has 6 points, and the Hill City Ringnecks have a 2-point lead, 14-12 over the Smith Center Redmen. Bourne with it, out to Wilson. Brandy Berry left corner for three, buries it.
Left all alone in that corner there was Brandy Berry, able to knock that one down.
17-12 the score now. The Hill City Ringnecks lead the Smith Center Redmen by 5. Benoit has to get it across the timeline, does so to Clay Winslow. Winslow tipped out of there by Wilson. Wilson leads the fast break for the Ringnecks. He's going to dribble back out, let his teammates catch up with him. McDowell has it in the paint, up and no good. Rebounded by Trace Haven. Haven hands it off to Jesse Staples. Staples brings it up the right side of the court for the Redmen with 6:20 left to go in the first half. 5-point lead for the Hill City Ringnecks, 17-12 over the Smith Center Redmen. Ball gets tipped around, and Benoit tries to save it, but goes right into the hands of the Ringnecks. Zach Wilson now with the basketball. Going to set up the offense for the Ringnecks out front. Passes it to Bourne, right wing. Bourne out front to McDowell, now to Wilson, left wing. Wilson picked up there by Staples. They swing it back around Brandy Berry. Van Lunen, right block, pump fakes, and he's going to go to the free throw line. Nope, they're going to say the foul was on the floor first. So the Redmen pick up their third team foul, and Winslow picks up his first personal foul.
As Van Lunen gave a pump fake, Winslow just jumped to go for it and pretty much pushed Van Lunen before Van Lunen even started to make the attempt to go up in the air. Why they're calling that one on the floor.
Winslow and Thane Benoit both take a seat. Reese Buckmaster and Brett Decker both back into the game now for the Redmen. Zach Wilson with it, right side. He's going to dribble back out to the center circle, reset the offense. They get it to Hanley. Hanley inside to Asa Brandyberry. Now back to Wilson. Wilson going to reset the offense to Everett Brandyberry. He's in the right wing. Now back to Wilson. Inside for Van Lunen. Out to Everett Brandyberry, right corner. Back to Wilson. Wilson right side with it. On the dribble. Going to dribble back out to the center circle and reset the offense once again. 5:20 left to go in the first half. The Hill City Ringnecks lead by 5 as Hanley tracks down this basketball, and they're going to say stepped out of bounds. So Redmen basketball with 5:12 left to go in the first half.
Good quick hands there by Staples to get that ball tipped. Then he chased it down and kind of trapped him up in the corner there, kind of behind the back dribble, landed right on the out of bounds line.
17-12 is our score. The Hill City Ringnecks lead the Smith Center Redmen by 5. Jesse Staples with it, drives in, left block, no good. Rebounded by Asa Brandyberry. Hands it off to Zach Wilson. Ahead to Connor Bourne in the right corner. Inside, ball gets tipped around. Wilson comes away with the tip pass. Everett Brandyberry with it, left corner. Dribbles up left wing, all the way inside, and good.
Nice little floater right there in the middle of the lane.
19-12 is the score. The Hill City Ringnecks lead the Smith Center Redmen. 4:35 left to go in the first half. Colby Benoit across the timeline. Back to Jesse Staples. Staples going to set up the offense as he dribbles over to the left side to Reese Buckmaster in the left corner. Back to Staples, out front to Brett Decker. He's between the circles, looks inside for Brett Meyer, couldn't get it to him. Stolen away by Wilson. Wilson leads the break. Head to Everett Brandyberry, right block, no good. Put back by Wilson is.
Nice job there by Wilson following that one down. Didn't even come back to the floor with it, just grabbed it in one hand and put it right back up over top of the rim.
21-12 is the score, and Reese Buckmaster gets called for the travel. So the ball goes back to the Ringnecks as Thane Benoit and Camden Dietz come in. Colby Benoit and Brett Decker take a seat. 4:06 left to go in this first half. The Hill City Ringnecks lead the Smith Center Redmen 21-12. Everett Brandyberry with it. Calls out the offense. Now to Asa Brandyberry. To Adam Van Lunen. Back to Everett Brandyberry. Inside for Asa. Off the glass. No good. Rebound. Tipped out into the hands of Hanley. Now to Zach Wilson. Left elbow shot. Good.
Wilson with a nice shot there from the elbow. Redmen, good defense. Just Wilson able to drop that one in.
Makes it 23-12. The Hill City Ringnecks lead the Smith Center Redmen. Thane Benoit tried to leave it off for Buckmaster. Buckmaster went to set a screen. Ball goes right into the hands of Zach Wilson. Wilson with it now for the Hill City Ringnecks. 3.5 minutes left to go in the first half. Hill City Ringnecks lead the Smith Center Redmen 23-12. Asa Brandeberry with it. Now to Adam Van Lunen. Van Lunen now to Wilson. Left elbow. Looked inside for Everett Brandeberry. Too hard on the pass. Out of bounds. It will be Redmen basketball. Trace Haven comes back in. Jesse Staples going to take a seat. 3:19 left to go in the first half. The Hill City Ringnecks lead the Smith Center Redmen 23-12. Haven brings it across the timeline, picks up his dribble now to Thane Benoit. Benoit inside for Buckmaster. Buckmaster shot. Well, they're going to say he was fouled. So the foul going to be on the Ringnecks, their second team foul.
Buckmaster just doing the right thing there. Had the double team, just jumped up and jumped into him to draw the foul. As well, if he made it, he got 2 points without the foul, or if he didn't, he had the foul as well.
Buckmaster misses the first one as that foul was on Garrett Hanley. Hanley's first personal against second Ringneck team foul. It's Buckmaster getting set for the second free throw now. And it is no good as well. Rebound tracked down by Zach Wilson. Wilson brings it up the court for the Ringnecks. Leaves it off for Asa Brandeberry. Right block, no good. Gets his own rebound, and he's going to be fouled. This will be the fourth team foul on the Redmen. Foul's going to be on the floor. Foul's on Trace Haven, his first. Going to be stolen away by the Redmen on the inbound. Thane Benoit fakes the pass, drives in, good.
A nice fake there by Thane Benoit. Came down the lane, gave a fake like he's going to pass to the outside. Ringneck defender, went on it, and Thane Benoit, wide open layup.
Everett Brandeberry, right wing for three, buries it.
Everett Brandeberry just able to drop that one in despite the Redmen right there in his face.
He's now got 11, 9 of those coming from beyond the arc. That makes it 26-14, and the Hill City Ringnecks lead the Smith Center Redmen by 12. Reese Buckmaster with it, now to Trace Haven, right side, out front to Brett Meyer. He's going to drive in, stops, pops, no good, rebounded by Garrett Hanley. Hanley hands it off to Zach Wilson. Wilson brings it across the timeline, picked up by Thane Benoit, out front now to Asa Brandeberry. Around to Everett, again, deep three this time. Everett Brandeberry, 4 3-pointers here in the first half.
He is feeling it. He has good defense right in front of him. The Redmen played him tight. He's just able to get those 3-pointers to fall over top of him.
Buckmaster to Haven underneath for Brett Meyer. Meyer back out. Thane Benoit. He'll put up the 3 from the top of the key. No good. Rebounded by Zach Wilson. Wilson leads the break. Drives in. Good. That makes it 31-14. And going to have a timeout called. So we'll take one with them. Again, the Hill City Ringnecks lead the Smith Center Redmen 31-14 with 1:33 left to go in the first half. You're listening to MCL tournament coverage here on KQMA and the World Wide Web. Welcome back to Waukegan and Trico High School. Colby Benoit, Jesse Staples, Camden Dietz, Brett Decker, and Brett Meyer for the Redmen. Everett Brandeberry, Zach Wilson, Adam Van Lunen, along with Aaron McDowell, and also Garrett Hanley for the Ringnecks. Dietz with it, left corner, now to Staples, top of the key for 3. No good, rebounded by Brett Meyer, put back, and he's going to be going to the free throw line as this will be the third foul on the Ringnecks. Brett Meyer will head to the free throw line. Van Lunen picks up his second. Meyer's first one is no good. Is Brandeberry back into the game for the Ringnecks. It's Brett Meyer getting set for his second free throw, trying to cut into this Ringneck lead. Second one's on its way. Good for Brett Meyer. He now has 7, and the Hill City Ringnecks lead the Smith Center Redmen by 16, 31-24. to 15. Zach Wilson with it, trying to break this press, does so to Hanley, to Everett Brandenberry, left wing this time for three, and it's good. Everett Brandenberry, another three-pointer. He's got 17 points here in this first half, 14 of them coming in this second quarter, as Colby Benoit tries to save it in, out of bounds, Ringneck basketball.
Good hustle there by Colby Benoit, able to tip that one in. He was trying to tip it back to Brett Decker, but Brett Decker also trying to go for the save there and just kind of went right out of bounds off of him.
34-15, the Hill City Ringnecks lead the Smith Center Redmen. 56 seconds left to go in the first half. McDowell has it across the timeline to Hanley. Hanley to Zach Wilson, right wing. Wilson on the dribble, dribbles it back out, going to set up the offense. 45 seconds left to go in the first half. Zach Wilson on the dribble. He's in the center circle. 34-15, the Hill City Ringnecks lead the Smith Center Redmen here in the 7th place boys game of the MCL tournament. Wilson on the dribble, now to Brandyberry. Everett Brandyberry has it. Now back to Zach Wilson, left side. 25 seconds left to go in this first half. Wilson picked up by Colby Benoit. He dribbles back out to the center circle. 20 seconds left. Wilson still on the dribble, guarded by Benoit. Kicks it out to Everett Brandyberry. He's picked up by Jesse Staples. Now back to Zach Wilson. 10 seconds left to go in the first half. Wilson back to Everett Brandyberry. Brandyberry, top of the key, free throw line jumper, good. That makes it 36-15 at halftime. The Hill City Ringnecks lead the Smith Center Redmen. We're going to take a timeout here. Come back, wrap up the first half for you right after this as you're listening to MCL tournament coverage here on KQMA and the World Wide Web. Welcome back to Waukegan and Trigo High School. Jess Ray alongside Robbie Gibson at halftime of the 7th place boys game. The Hill City Ringnecks lead the Smith Center Redmen 36-15. It was 14-10 after the first quarter, but the Ringnecks a big second quarter there, 22-5, outscoring the Redmen in the second quarter. As we take a look at the scoring, 10 points for Zach Wilson, 19 for Everett Brandyberry, as he scored 16 of his 19 in that second quarter on 4 3-pointers. He's got 5 of them for the first half. 2 points came from Adam Van Lunen, 3 from Aaron McDowell, and 2 from Garrett Hanley in the first half for the Ringnecks. For the Redmen, it is 4 points for Thane Benoit, 2 points for Trace Haven, 2 for Brett Decker, and 7 for Brett Meyer. As Meyer and Benoit, the only 2 to score there in that second quarter. Meyer with 3 in the second quarter, 2 for Thane Benoit. There's the 5 points for the Redmen. in that second quarter. Robbie, how'd stats look?
For the Redmen, they were 0 for 3 from the three-point line, 7 for 18 from the field, 1 for 6 from the free throw line, 3 offensive, 8 defensive rebounds, and 10 turnovers. For the Ringnecks, they were 5 for 8 from the three-point line, 13 for 26 from the field, 3 for 3 from the free throw line, and 9 defensive, 4 offensive rebounds, and 5 turnovers there in that first half.
So that second quarter belonged to Everett Brandyberry. He had 16 of the 22 for the Hill City Ringnecks on 4 3-pointers. He's got 5 3-pointers, all 5 of them so far for the Ringnecks, as they have a 21-point lead here at halftime, 36-15 over the Smith Center Redmen. We're going to take a timeout here. We'll come back, get Robbie's keys to victory, and take a look at the brackets once again for you right after this, as you're listening to KQMA Sports and from the Mid-Continent League Basketball Tournament. Welcome back to Waukegan and Trigo High School. Jess Ray alongside Robbie Gibson at halftime of the 7th place boys game. The Hill City Ringnecks lead the Smith Center Redmen 36-15. Robbie, let's get your keys to victory here for both teams.
Well, for the Redmen, they got to look inside. They got to get Brett Meyer, Brett Decker, their post players going underneath the basket, as that's going to be their spot to try to get this Ringnecks to crash in, to maybe open up some outside shots a little bit better. And then they got to know where the shooter is and close out. Everett Branderberry tearing it up from outside on that three-point line. They got to know where he is at all times, as he has the hot hand. Know where he is, make sure he is covered so he doesn't have an open look. Yes, he's been able to kind of get shots off with Redmen in his face, but if they're on him and they don't deny that pass to him, it's going to help them out as well. For the Ringnecks, they got to keep mixing it up. Keep going inside, outside. Keep working that inside-outside game, or even go outside-inside. It's been working well there in that first half for them, and they've really been able to use it very well as they've got their post players going. They got their outside game going. It's just been a good mix, so they got to keep that going. And then they got to force the Redmen outside. They've allowed a lot of shots underneath the basket, so if they can force the Redmen out, that should help them out, as the Redmen not doing a good job tonight from outside, hitting from out there, but I'm sure they're going to keep putting them up, and sooner those hopefully will start to fall for them. But if the Ringmen force them outside and keep on them when they go out there, that should keep letting the Ringnecks extend that lead, and that's what I have for you.
So we take a look at our Mid-Continent League tournament brackets. On the girls' side, one game has been completed. It was the 7th-place girls' game as the Oakley Lady Plainsmen defeated the Smith Center Lady Red 38-26. Again, this is the 7th place boys game between the Hill City Ringnecks and the Smith Center Redmen. The next game is going to be the Norton Lady Jays against the Ellis Lady Railers in the 5th place girls game, followed by the Trigo boys versus Ellis boys in the 5th place boys game. Then will be the 3rd place girls game that features the Hill City Lady Ringnecks and the Plainville Lady Cards, followed by the 3rd place boys game featuring the Plainville Cardinals and the TMP Monarchs. Then will be the girls championship. That will be the TMP Lady Monarchs against the Stockton Lady Tigers, and the boys championship, the Norton Blue Jays against the Phillipsburg Panthers. That all to come here on this Saturday for you here from Waukene and Trigo High School. We will be done for a couple games after this broadcast, as our next broadcast after the 7th place boys game will be the 3rd place girls game featuring the Hill City Lady Ringnecks and the Plainville Lady Cards. As we get set for the 3rd quarter with the Hill City Ringnecks on top of the Smith Center Redmen, 36-15 again. Leading the Redmen, Brett Meyer with 7, Thane Benoit with 4, Trace Haven and Brett Decker both with 2 for the Ringnecks, 19 for Everett Brandyberry, 10 for Zach Wilson, 2 for Garrett Hanley, 2 for Adam Van Lunen, and 3 for Aaron McDowell. It is Redmen basketball to start the second half, as they will go right to left on your radio dial. Jesse Staples looks to inbound, does so to Thane Benoit. Thane has it on the dribble, left side, working against Zach Wilson, picks up his dribble now to Colby Benoit. Colby, right side, back out front to Brett Meyer, swings around to Thane Benoit, left wing. Thane looks in, gets it to Camden Dietz at the free throw line, kicks it back out. Thane Benoit left wing for 3, no good. Rebounded by Brett Meyer, put back is good.
Nice job there by Brett Meyer, getting that rebound and going right back up strong with it. Kind of had to fight off a couple defenders to get there, but able to do so.
36-17 the score. The Hill City Ringnecks lead the Smith Center Redmen. Van Lunen with it, right block. And going to get called for the double dribble is Van Lunen. So it will be Redmen basketball. 7:21 left to go in the 3rd quarter. And the Hill City Ringnecks lead the Smith Center Redmen. Again, 36-17. Jesse Staples with it. Now to Colby Benoit. Colby looked ahead for Brett Meyer, stolen away by Van Lunen. Adam Van Lunen hands it off to Zach Wilson. Wilson ahead to Van Lunen. Van Lunen picks up his dribble, back to Wilson. Wilson brings it across the timeline. He's on the right side, gets a screen out front by Van Lunen, drives in. Wilson underneath for McDowell, picked up by Colby Benoit. Colby hands it off to Brett Meyer. Now back to Colby Benoit. He brings it right to left on your radio dial. 6:45 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Colby Benoit underneath for Jesse Staples. Left baseline shot, good.
Staples not quite ready for that pass from Benoit, as Colby Benoit had the right angle for the layup, but instead passed off to Staples, hit Staples' chest. Staples able to get it and go right back up with it.
36-19 the score. The Hill City Ringnecks lead the Smith Center Redmen. Just under 6.5 minutes left to go. And Zach Wilson took too long to get across that timeline. 10-second call. Redmen basketball as Trace Haven comes in. And Colby Benoit going to take a seat.
Really wasn't much pressure defense there for the Redmen. Just Wilson kind of taking his time, trying to read everything that's going on in front of him. Just didn't get across in time.
Jesse Staples has it. Now out front to Brett Meyer. He looks underneath. Now to Thane Benoit left side. Benoit out front to Trace Haven. Haven on the dribble. Jesse Staples right wing. Staples out front to Brett Meyer. Gets a screen from Thane Benoit. Meyer drives in. Kicks it out to Haven. Now to Staples. Staples to Thane Benoit. Top of the key to Camden Dietz. Left block. Back to Benoit. Benoit baseline. Out to Camden Dietz. Left wing. Looks inside for Brett Meyer. Couldn't get it to him. Kicks it out to Thane Benoit. He'll get it inside for Brett Meyer. Left block. Counted. He's going to the line for an and one.
Tough shot there for Brett Meyer. Got one hand ripped away from the ball. Able to go up there strong with the one hand and put it off the backboard.
Aaron McDowell picks up his first Ringneck team foul. 5:52 left to go in this 3rd quarter. The Hill City Ringnecks lead the Smith Center Redmen 36-21. Make that 22 as Brett Meyer hits the and one attempt. So it's 36-22. The Hill City Ringnecks lead the Smith Center Redmen. Zach Wilson has it. He's on the right side, picked up by Thane Benoit. Now to McDowell, top of the key. McDowell picks up his dribble. Now back to Zach Wilson. Wilson going to set the offense back up here for the Ringnecks to Van Lunen. Van Lunen to McDowell, to Wilson, left wing. Out front to Brandy Berry. He's going to put up the three. Buries it.
Brandy Berry with the defender right there in his face, able to knock it down.
6 3-pointers for Everett Brandy Berry here in this ball game, and extends the Hill City Ringneck 39-22. Camden Dietz left corner for three, no good. Rebounded by Trace Haven. Haven looking to pass it off, does so to Staples underneath the basket, up and in. And a timeout called. 5:05 left to go in the third quarter. The Hill City Ringnecks lead the Smith Center Redmen 39-24. We're going to take a timeout with them as you're listening to MCL tournament coverage here on KQMA and the World Wide Web. Welcome back to Waukene and Trigo High School, the 2017 MCL basketball tournament. This is the 7th place boys game as the Hill City Ringnecks lead the Smith Center Redmen 39-24. Ringneck basketball out of the timeout. Hanley with it, right wing to Zach Wilson on the right baseline. Dribbles out to the right corner. Now Wilson on the dribble, right wing. Brandy Berry top of the key, puts the floater up in the paint, no good. Rebounded by Brett Meyer. Meyer looks to outlet, does so to Jesse Staples. 4:40 left to go in the third quarter. 39-24 our score. The Hill City Ringnecks lead the Smith Center Redmen. Brett Meyer with it out front. Now to Camden Dietz, left side. Dietz to Thamenoin in the left corner. Looks inside for Brett Meyer. Tipped out there by Zach Wilson, and will remain Redmen basketball with 4:26 left to go in this third quarter.
Good look to catch Brett Meyer underneath on the backside of everybody. But Zach Wilson sitting there kind of baiting that pass and able to slip in there, tip it out of bounds.
Staples with it, right wing for the Redmen. Now to Haven. They swing around to Thamenoin, left wing. He'll put up the three, no good. Ball gets tipped out in the hands of Garrett Hanley for the Hill City Ringnecks. Zach Wilson brings up left side. Now to Hanley, left wing for three, buries it.
Nice shot there by Hanley. Left open just for a split second and able to knock down the three-pointer.
That makes it 42-24. The Hill City Ringneck lead the Smith Center Redmen as Haven loses it out of bounds, and it will be Ringneck basketball. Colby Benoit comes back into the game. Jesse Staples going to take a seat. Trace Haven takes a seat. Reese Buckmaster back into the game. 3:57 left to go in the third quarter. The Hill City Ringnecks lead the Smith Center Redmen 42-24. It's going to be Van Lunen. Now to Hanley. Hanley going to bring it left to right on your radio dial for the Hill City Ringnecks. He's in the center circle, picked up by Reese Buckmaster. Now to Brandy Berry, right wing. Brandy Berry steps back, looks to pass off, does so to Zach Wilson. Wilson to Hanley, right wing. He's at the free throw line. Now to Brandy Berry, left wing. He's picked up tightly by Colby Benoit. Drives in, shot in the paint, no good. Rebounded by Camden Dietz. Dietz hands off to Brett Meyer. Now to Thane Benoit. Benoit across the timeline. 3:25 left to go in the third quarter. The Hill City Ringnecks lead the Smith Center Redmen 42-24. Camden Dietz to Colby Benoit. Colby at the right wing, out front to Brett Meyer. Now to Reese Buckmaster, left wing. Buckmaster takes one dribble. Now to Camden Dietz. Dietz to Thane Benoit. Benoit drives in, and he's going to get called for the charge. Thane Benoit picks up his first personal foul, first Redmen team foul.
Good job there by the Ringneck getting place of that one. As it happened so quickly, I couldn't even really tell who it was. But he just kind of got there at the last second, got himself set, and Benoit just went right into him.
Timeout on the court. We'll take one with him with 3:08 left to go in the third quarter. The Hill City Ringnecks lead the Smith Center Redmen 42-24. You're listening to MCL tournament coverage here on KQMA and the World Wide Web. Welcome back to Waukene and Trigo High School. The Hill City Ringnecks lead the Smith Center Redmen 42-24. to 24 here in the 7th place boys game. It's going to be Aaron McDowell along with Garrett Hanley. Also, Everett Brandyberry, Adam Van Lunen, Zach Wilson, and Joel Pimlott for the ring next. As Pimlott comes in, McDowell is going to take a seat. Brett Meyer, Camden Dietz, Reese Buckmaster, Colby, and Thamanoid for the Redmen. Zach Wilson gets the inbounds. A little pressure here by the Redmen. Now they back to their defense. Zach Wilson has it to Hanley, left wing. Hanley between the leg dribble, top of the key, hands it off to Brandyberry. Brandyberry drives in, free throw line, kicks out to Wilson. Wilson drives in, floater in the paint, no good. Fighting for the rebound. Wilson comes down with it, and he's going to the free throw line.
Nice job there by Wilson, going up strong on his first shot. Getting kind of blocked there almost. Able to come down with it again, though, fighting for the rebound, then go back up to get fouled.
This is the ring next at the line. That's Zach Wilson. He misses the first one. So they call the foul on Camden Dietz, his second. Jesse Staples and Clay Winslow come in. Thamanoid and Camden Dietz take a seat. 2:47 left to go in this third quarter. The Hill City Ringnecks lead the Smith Center Redmen 42-24 as Wilson hits the second one. He now has 11 points. That's his first point of the second half. Makes it 43-24. The Hill City Ringnecks lead the Smith Center Redmen. Brandyberry comes away with the steal. And now he's going to get called for the travel as he went to pass to Wilson that time, and the Redmen jumped in the way, so he went to turn, and that pivot foot drug with him.
Well, you said exactly right there. Just a good little steal there by Brandyberry. Almost got it passed off to Wilson. Wilson had a decent lane towards the basket.
Brett Meyer has it, kicks out. Jesse Staples out front to Colby Benoit. Now to Reese Buckmaster, left wing. Buckmaster back out front to Colby Benoit. Kicks out Staples, right wing. He looks in, back to Benoit. Now to Brett Meyer. Meyer going to get called for the travel as that time he changed his pivot foot. So he's going to get called for the travel with 2:15 left to go in this third quarter. And the Hill City Ringnecks lead the Smith Center Redmen by 19, 43-24. Van Lunen looks to inbound, does so to Brandyberry. Brandyberry going to bring it up the court, working against Colby Benoit, down to Hanley. Hanley, right corner, spin move, kicks it out. Brandyberry, left wing, now to Wilson in the left corner. Wilson skip pass to Pimlott, right corner. Pimlott takes one dribble, and he's going to change his pivot foot and get called for the travel as well. So, ball goes back to the Redmen with 1:55 left to go in the third quarter. And the Hill City Ringnecks lead the Smith Center Redmen 43-24 here in the 7th place game of this Mid-Con League basketball tournament. This is boys action here. As we had our 7th place girls game won by the Oakley Lady Plainsmen 38-26 over the Smith Center Lady Red earlier this morning. Colby Benoit has it for the Redmen. He's at the right wing, picks up his dribble there. Inside for Brett Meyer. Meyer, turnaround shot in the paint, no good. Rebounded by Buckmaster, put back, counted. He's going to the line for an and one.
Tough shot there by Brett Meyer as he was quadruple teamed. Had a defender every single way he turned, so the only way he could really go with it was up. So done the right idea there. Tough shot. Good job there by Buckmaster to be on the backside of that rim. Got the rebound, went back up, put the 2 points in, and got to the free throw line.
Buckmaster's and one attempt is no good. Rebounded by Zach Wilson. Wilson all the way down. Pimlott right wing. Pump fakes. Drives to the free throw line. Leaves off Brandyberry. Brandyberry to Hanley in the left corner. He's on the dribble. Drives in. Shot in the paint. Good.
Nice little floater over top of the Redmond defense. Two different defenders standing right there for him.
45-26 our score now. The Hill City Ringnecks lead the Smith Center Redmen with 1:08 left to go in the third quarter. Backside pass to Winslow, up and in. That makes it a 45-28 score. The Hill City Ringnecks lead the Smith Center Redmen with 55 seconds left to go in this third quarter. Zach Wilson on the dribble. Now to Everett Brandyberry, top the key, blocked by Brett Meyer. Stolen away by Colby Benoit. Benoit drives in, leaves it off for Brett Meyer. Layup, good.
Nice job there by Brett Meyer blocking that three-point shot and taking off down the other way with a teammate.
15-point lead now for the Hill City Ringnecks. 45-30 is our score. 30 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Again, the Hill City Ringnecks lead the Smith Center Redmen. Van Lunen turnaround baseline shot is good. makes it 47-30. The Hill City Ringnecks lead the Smith Center Redmen. Jesse Staples across the timeline. He's going to drive all the way in, loses the handle on it, out of bounds. It will remain Redmen basketball with 15 seconds left. Thae Benoit comes back in. Jesse Staples is going to take a seat. So Benoit will inbound the basketball. Looking, gets it into Brett Meyer. Now back to Thae Benoit. Benoit drives baseline, leaves off for Meyer, and Benoit going to get called for the travel. 11 seconds left to go in the third quarter. It is a 17-point lead for the Hill City Ringnecks over the Smith Center Redmen, the 7th-place boys game of the MCL tournament. 47-30 is the score. Van Lunen gets it to Everett Brandyberry. Brandyberry pushes it up the court with 6 seconds left. Brandyberry hands it off to Hanley. Hanley, right wing, pump fakes, puts up the shot, no good. That's going to do it for the third quarter with the Hill City Ringnecks on top of the Smith Center Redmen, 47-30. We'll take a timeout here. Come back, bring you fourth quarter action right after this as you're listening to MCL tournament coverage here on KQMA and the World Wide Web. Welcome back to Waukegan and Trigo High School. Jesse Ray alongside Robbie Gibson at the end of 3. The Hill City Ringnecks lead the Smith Center Redmen 47-30 here in the 7th-place boys game of the MCL tournament. It is Colby and Thae Benoit, Brett Meyer, Clay Winslow, and Reese Buckmaster for the Redmen. Adam Van Lunen, Zach Wilson, Connor Bourne, Everett Brandyberry, and Asa Brandyberry for the Ringnecks. Ball's tipped into the hands of Zach Wilson. Wilson has it to Bourne, left wing. Dribbles down to the left corner. Working against Clay Winslow. Out to Zach Wilson. Wilson picked up by Thae Benoit. Wilson over to Everett Brandyberry, and Brandyberry going to be fouled. Foul's going to be on Clay Winslow. His second personal foul. Third Redmen team foul.
Winslow just trying to stay in front of Brandyberry there. Got him with a little bit of a push off with his hips, so getting him with a block.
Bourne puts up the left corner three. No good. Rebounded by Reese Buckmaster. Buckmaster leads the break for the Redmen. Drives in. Wraparound pass to Colby Benoit. He loses the handle on it, out of bounds. And it's going to be Ringneck basketball. Pimlott comes into the game. And Bourne going to take a seat.
Right idea there by Buckmaster, as he had a little lane there, but he had guys coming up behind him, and Colby Benoit was on the backside of everybody, wide open.
Zach Wilson brings it up the right side of the court for the Ringnecks. Out front to Van Lunen. Now to Pimlott, left wing. Pimlott looks inside. Now to Everett Brandyberry. Top of the key to Zach Wilson, right wing. Wide open for three. No good. Rebound, fought for. Pimlott saves it in right to Clay Winslow. Winslow pushes it up the court for the Redmen. Picks up his dribble to Brett Meyer, right wing. Out front to Thae Benoit. Benoit drives in, kicks out. Colby Benoit, right corner. Colby picks up his dribble. Now back out to Brett Meyer. Meyer on the dribble. And going to get called for the carry is Brett Meyer. So it will be Ringneck basketball. And a timeout on the court. So 7 minutes left to go into this ball game. The Hill City Ringnecks lead the Smith Center Redmen 47-30. We're going to take a timeout with them as you're listening to MCL tournament coverage here on KQMA and the World Wide Web. Welcome back to Waukegan and Trigo High School 2017 Mid-Continent League Basketball Tournament. The 7th place boys game is being led by 17 by the Hill City Ringnecks over the Smith Center Redmen, 47-30. is our score. Adam Van Lunen looks to inbound the basketball out of the timeout for the Ring Next. Does so to Zach Wilson. Wilson to Pimlott, left corner. Pimlott has it back, left corner for three, and it's good.
Pimlott left wide open in the 3-point line and that corner there.
That makes it a 20-point lead for the Hill City Ring Next, 50-30. Jesse Staples, left corner, picks up his dribble there for Thane Benoit underneath Brett Meyer. Good. Nice touch pass by Thane Benoit.
You said it. Nice cut there by Thane Benoit. Good job by Staples to see it. Got it up to him, and Benoit rose above everybody else and just launched it right down to Brett Meyer underneath.
It makes the score 50-32 as Everett Brandenberry right wing for three. This time no good. Tipped out of bounds off of Adam Van Lunen. It will be Redmen basketball. 6:14 left to go in this ball game. And the Hill City Ring Next lead the Smith Center Redmen 50-32. Thane Benoit going to bring it up the court, right to left on your radio dial. Across the court, pass to Staples. Staples left side. Out front to Brett Meyer. Meyer picks up the dribble to Staples inside for Winslow. Saves it to Colby Benoit. Colby now to Staples. Staples around to Thane Benoit. Brett Meyer, turnaround shot, no good. Rebound, fought for. Zach Wilson comes up with it for the Ring Next. Pimlott going to get called for the double dribble. So 5:47 left to go in this ball game. And the Hill City Ring Next lead the Smith Center Redmen 50-32 as Brandyberry goes to the sideline. And Garrett Hanley comes back in for the Ring Next. Redmen basketball as Colby Benoit picks up his dribble just inside half court. Now to Thane Benoit, left side. And back to Benoit. Colby with it, that is. He's out front. Now to Brett Meyer at the free throw line. Clay Winslow, right corner. Staples, right wing. Out front to Colby Benoit. Back to Brett Meyer at the free throw line. Picks up his dribble. Back to Colby Benoit. Benoit drives in. Splits the defense out of bounds. Redmen basketball. 5:20 left to go in this game. And the Hill City Ring Next leading the Smith Center Redmen 50-32.
Good drive there by Colby Benoit. Good defense, though, as well by the Ring Next.
Colby Benoit left corner for three, and it's good, as that's Colby Benoit's first points of this ball game, and it makes it a 50-35 score. The Hill City Ring Next lead the Smith Center Redmen by 15. 5:05 left to go in this ball game. Garrett Hanley with it. Now to Zach Wilson, left wing. He's on the dribble drive. Left baseline shot, no good. Rebounded by Brett Meyer. Meyer outlets ahead to Thane Benoit. Benoit ahead to Jesse Staples, right corner. Inside for Clay Winslow at the right block. Back out to Staples. They swing it around to Benoit, right wing. Inside for Winslow, right block. Back out Staples, right corner. He'll put up the three. No good. Rebounded by Joel Pimlott for the Hill City Ring Next. He outlets ahead to Garrett Hanley. Hanley bounce pass to Van Lunen, up and good.
Nice little bounce pass there from Hanley to Van Lunen. Just kind of bounced it right around a defender.
52-35 our score now. The Hill City Ring Next lead the Smith Center Redmen. 4:20 left to go in this ball game. This is the seventh place boys game of the MCL tournament. Brett Meyer, Thane Benoit left corner for three, no good. Rebound, fought for. Colby Benoit comes up with it. Jesse Staples underneath, good. That makes it 52-37 as Zach Wilson drives all the way and good. Nice layup that time for Zach Wilson to extend the Ring Neck lead, 54-37. Just under 4 minutes left to play in the seventh place boys game as Hanley going to get called for the kick. And it will be Redmen basketball. Dietz comes in. Winslow takes a seat for the Redmen. And timeout called, so we'll take one with them. 3:55 left to go in this ball game. The Hill City Ring Next lead the Smith Center Redmen 54-37. You're listening to MCL tournament coverage here on KQMA and the World Wide Web. Welcome back to Waukegan and Trigo High School, the host site for the 2017 Mid-Continent League Basketball Tournament. The Hill City Ring Next lead the Smith Center Redmen 54-37 in the seventh place boys game of this MCL tournament. It is Everett and Asa Brandyberry along with Garrett Hanley Aaron McDowell, and Connor Bourne. For the Redmen, it is Jesse Staples, along with Brett Meyer, Camden Dietz, Colby Benoit, and Thane Benoit. It is Redmen basketball out of the timeout as Colby Benoit Thane Benoit will inbound the basketball. Does so to Staples in the right corner. Now to Thane Benoit, right wing. Inside for Brett Meyer to Jesse Staples, right corner. He'll drive in, loses a handle on it. Out of bounds, Ringneck basketball. 3:49 left to go in this game. And the Hill City Ringnecks lead the Smith Center Redmen 54-37. McDowell inbounds to Hanley. Hanley working against Colby Benoit. Going to bring it across the timeline down to Everett Brandenberry. Left corner for three. Buries it.
Everett Brandenberry able to just get away from his defender and get down to the low corner there all by himself, able to get a good shot off.
57-37, a 20-point lead once again for the Hill City Ringnecks. Brett Meyer has it at the free throw line. Jumper, no good. Rebounded by Garrett Hanley. Hanley leads the break for the Ringnecks. Kicks it out to Connor Bourne on the right baseline. He picks up his dribble, looks to pass it off inside for Asa Brandenberry. Turnaround shot, good.
Good positioning there by Asa Brandenberry underneath. Good, got the ball right into him, right up.
59-37 the score now. The Hill City Ringnecks on top as Colby Benoit right corner for three this time. No good. Put back by Camden Dietz is. That makes it 59-39 and going to have a foul called. This one's on the Redmen. Fourth team foul. As Joel Pimlott comes back into the game and Everett Brandenberry takes a seat. That foul was on Colby Benoit, his first. As Camden Dietz is the only one to stay. Clay Winslow, Brett Decker, Reese Buckmaster, and Trace Haven all into the game. And Camden Dietz the only one to stay in the game for the Redmen. 2:51 left to go in this 7th place boys game. And the Hill City Ringnecks lead the Smith Center Redmen by 20, 59-39. Hanley, the intended receiver for that pass. Winslow tips it out of bounds, so it'll remain Ringneck basketball.
Good job there by Winslow, slipping it through the passing lane, tipping that ball out of there.
McDowell inbounds to Hanley. Hanley dribbles over to the left wing. 2:45 left to go in the game. Hanley drives in, and Buckmaster going to get called for the foul.
Buckmaster getting called with that foul as he got a little hand check there, got his hand on the hip and kind of gave it a little push.
Buckmaster's first personal, 5th Redmen team foul. 2:43 left to go. And the Hill City Ringnecks lead by 20, 59-39 over the Smith Center Redmen. Pimlott with it. Now to Connor Bourne. He's out front on the dribble, picks it up. Now to Pimlott, left wing. Pimlott on the dribble, top of the key. Hands off to Garrett Hanley, right wing. Hanley drives in, puts a shot up in the paint, no good. Rebounded by Asa Brandenberry. And he gets the ball stripped, stolen away by Trace Haven. Haven brings it up the court. 2:20 left to go in the ball game. 20-point lead for the Hill City Ringnecks. 59-39. Brett Decker has it. Inside jump ball call. Smith Center Redmen basketball. 2:13 left to go in the game. And again, the Hill City Ringnecks lead the Smith Center Redmen 59-39.
Good look to catch Decker in there. Just as soon as Decker got the pass and turned, a Ringneck was there to grab a hold of that ball.
Trace Haven has it at the right wing for the Redmen. He's on the dribble, picks it up. Now to Camden Dietz in the right corner. Dietz dribbles up, picks up his dribble. Now to Winslow, to Reese Buckmaster, left wing. Inside for Dietz, right block off the glass and good.
Nice job there by Dietz. Just kind of slipped in the backside of the Ringneck defense and able to get a nice little skip pass right into him.
Buckmaster tips this one out of bounds. It will remain Hill City basketball. Minute 49 left to go in the game. It is 59-41 our score. The Hill City Ringnecks leading the Smith Center Redmen. To get the pass in for Pimlott, Joel Pimlott, ahead to Garrett Hanley. Hanley leads the break to Bourne, and now to McDowell. McDowell up and in.
Nice job there by the Ringnecks. Got a 3-on-1. Decker, the only Redman, back on that one, and he had to take one of them and just went on the backside of him.
61-41. A 20-point lead once again for the Hill City Ringnecks. Just under a minute and a half left to play in the fourth quarter. Reese Buckmaster with it, left wing. Picks up his dribble. Now to Trace Haven, left corner. Back to Buckmaster, left wing. Now hands it back off to Haven. Haven inside for Winslow, and a timeout called. So a minute 14 left to go in this game, and the Hill City Ringnecks lead by 20, 61-41. We'll take a timeout with them. You're listening to MCL tournament coverage here on KQMA and the World Wide Web. welcome back to Waukene and Trigo High School. Jesse Ray alongside Robbie Gibson. A minute 14 left to go in the 7th place boys game. The Hill City Ringnecks lead the Smith Center Redmen by 20, 61-41. Trace Haven has it now to Brett Decker at the free throw line. Back to Haven. So they swing it around to Buckmaster left wing. Buckmaster looks inside, letting the offense set up to Decker at the left elbow. Swings out to Haven. Haven drives in, right block up and no good. Rebounded by Camden Dietz, put back, no good. And rebounded by Aaron McDowell for the Ringnecks. He passes out to Garrett Hanley. Hanley up the left side of the court. Behind the back dribble, top of the key, right corner to Joel Pimlott. Pimlott dribbles up to the right wing, now out front to Connor Bourne. Bourne at the top of the key, now to Garrett Hanley, right wing. He drives in, wraparound pass stolen away by Trace Haven. Haven pushes it up the right side of the court for the Redmen. Dribbles back out to the right wing. 30 seconds left to go in this game. Brett Decker looked for was the intended receiver. Ball gets tipped around into the hands of Camden Dietz. Dietz to Reese Buckmaster, left corner. 18 seconds left. 20-point lead for the Hill City Ringnecks, 61-41 over the Smith Center Redmen. Clay Winslow gets the pass in the left corner, back to Dietz. Dietz around to Haven, right wing. Haven gets the ball tipped by Bourne. Haven comes up with it, right wing for three, and Haven will go to the line to shoot three with 2.6 seconds left to go in this game.
Good job there by Haven, able to keep track of the ball as it was tipped out of his hands, track it down to get back to at least try to get a last-second shot off, but got the foul out on the process.
Third team foul in the Ringnecks. So the first for Trace Haven is good. He now has 3 points. That makes it 61-42. The Hill City Ringnecks leading the Smith Center Redmen. Haven getting set for his second free throw now. It's on its way. This one good as well. So Haven hits his first two. Now he'll get set for the third one. Makes it 61-43. Haven getting set for his third and final free throw here. This one's on its way, and this one no good. Fighting for the rebound. Winslow comes up with it off the glass and at the buzzer. Good for Clay Winslow. And that's going to do it for this ball game. The Hill City Ringnecks defeat the Smith Center Redmen 61-45. We're going to take a timeout here. Come back, wrap up this ball game for you right after this as you're listening to MCL tournament coverage here on KQMA and the World Wide Web. Welcome back to Waukene. One final time here as we wrap up the 7th place boys game that was just won by the Hill City Ringnecks 61-45 over the Smith Center Redmen. The Ringnecks had a 14-10 lead after the first quarter. The Ringnecks then outscored the Redmen 22-5 in the second quarter, making it 36-15 at halftime. The Ringnecks on top by 21. The Redmen did outscore the Ringnecks in the third quarter 15-11 to make it a 17-point Ringneck lead, 47-30. The Redmen then outscored the Ringnecks in the fourth quarter 15-14, making their final Hill City 61, Smith Center 45. Looking at the scoring for the Ringnecks, it's going to be 13 for Zach Wilson, 25 for Everett Brandyberry, 6 for Adam Van Lunen, 5 for Aaron McDowell, 3 for Joel Pimlott, 2 for Asa Brandyberry, and 7 for Garrett Hanley. For the Redmen, 4 for Thane Benoit, 6 for Jesse Staples, 4 for Clayton Winslow, 2 for Reese Buckmaster, 3 for Colby Benoit, 16 for Brett Meyer, 4 for Trace Haven, 2 for Brett Decker, and 4 for Camden Dietz. Robbie, how'd stats look?
For the Redmen, they're 1 for 11 from the three-point line, 20 for 43 from the field, 4 for 11 from the free throw line, 13 defensive, 7 offensive rebounds, and 8 turnovers for the Ringnecks. They were 9 for 17 from the three-point line, 23 for 46 from the field, 4 for 6 from the free throw line, 6 offensive rebounds, 15 defensive rebounds, and 13 turnovers to end that game.
All right, well, that's going to do it for us from Waukene for a little while. We'll be back for the girls' third place game. Girls' fifth place game getting set here between the Norton Lady Jays and the Ellis Lady Railers. Then we will have the fifth place boys game, and then we'll be back with coverage of the third place girls game between the Hill City Lady Ringnecks and the Plainville Lady Cards. It's going to do it for us. We're going to send it back to the station. We'll talk to you all in a couple of hours.